ladies and gentlemen, please fasten your seatbelts and prepare for takeoff. We'd like to thank you for flying with us today. Hopefully we've made your flight enjoyable. We're about to start making our final descent, so if you could please collect your belongings and prepare for landing, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the interview with my friend Flip, or also known as CreateMyUniverse. He's a pretty cool guy, aren't you, Flip?
Yeah, hi, it's good. I'm fine. I will say I'm very excited about this. I haven't done a collab like this in a while. We were talking a little bit about it off stream, but like, it's been a long time since I've genuinely been on stream with like another VTuber like this.
Hey, well, I'm glad I could be your first, I guess.
Yay! Sorry, chat, behave yourselves. This is not.
Oh my god. Let me just get some
All
string
you
beat
people
lo-fi in the background.
I was gonna say, all you people from my community, behave yourselves. Look at Flipman, so inspirational.
He has a really cool mask, yes, indeed. But yeah, Flip, why don't you give a brief, maybe you can go like up to a minute, 30 seconds, whatever you want to do, a brief introduction about yourself, the content you make, and who you are in general as a streamer.
Yeah, okay, so I've got a long history of content creation, about 5 years on the site. My old YouTube channel or whatever, CreateMyUniverse, is now just a VOD channel. I stream basically daily on Twitch right now at CreateMyUniverse. And I now have a YouTube channel that's called Flip Light, and then a secondary YouTube channel that's called Flip Clips, which are just clips of me. Right now, it's predominantly gaming content and whatnot, which is, pretty basic stuff, let's plays with friends and whatnot. But we also do some more niche stuff and some more kind of crazy stuff like getting directing animation, working on character design, stuff like that, and all that gets posted on my Discord and other places. So it's it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's a very busy man, and I can't wait to ask him more in depth and let you guys all know what he's been up to, because Flip is pretty cool. To those who don't know who he is, we're gonna be. That's the whole point of the interview, to let you get a better. Even if you do watch Flip, hey, who knows? Maybe you'll learn something new while you watch the interview. So, yeah, and I'll also take interviews from people in chat as well. So that'll also be really cool. But yeah, I want. So first question I want to ask. I guess you already said it, but let's just see. Maybe a more in-depth answer here. So you said you've been doing YouTube, content creation for what? You said 5 years?
Oh yeah, it started when I got back. Lord, where was it? So I move a lot. I think this started when I was in Oregon, which was about 5 years ago. Now, technically speaking, there are some videos of 13-year-old Flip without a model and before like YouTube was really big, making videos about fish in aquariums. Those exist somewhere. At least they did. I privated all of them because I didn't want to hear my little 13-year-old voice talking about different fish for like hours and hours on the internet. Those, when I was younger, I had a small channel, and it did pretty good for the time. You have to remember, this is back when YouTube was just starting, and it was getting 5,000 to 10,000 views on some of its videos. So when the YouTube is just starting, that's kind of, especially as a kid, that's a little bit crazy.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
But from there, let's see. I'm trying to think. About 5 years ago is when I started getting serious about it again. We did a game called SCP Secret Laboratory. I don't know if you know anything about SCP.
Oh, I know a fair bit, and I also did notice that you have a video on your VODs channel, which looks like it used to be your main channel. One video had over 100,000 views, another had 69,000, and other videos that had a lot of views like that.
Yeah, so I did a whole lot of SCP content, and I quit doing it because I actually worked with the studio making that game for a period of time. I was a moderator on both the Discord and also a moderator on the Steam forums, and then I also just overall gave suggestions of things to add to the game. So I was in direct contact with like the guy who was making the game. He's actually been on a couple of my streams.
That's awesome.
It is, and then it isn't, because the thing is, when you make one type of content for as long as I did, I think I put 500
you
hours
become
into
locked into it, and then your community, if you try and do something else, they kind of distance themselves, I'm assuming.
Yes, exactly. And I mean, to be honest,
I've seen that happen.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the CreateMyUniverse channel, it's honestly, it's bad, but it's not as bad as it could have been. There's a lot of videos from back when I was doing video content, not the VODs, the actual video content on there that still have, thousands of views. Just random, like Dauntless we played a bit of, Monster we played a bit of, we played a bunch of just random games, and they still did okay. Like, they didn't do terrible. But there's a point where you're kind of like, all right, this is, enough of the same thing over and over again. People are coming for one thing, and, mostly one thing, so I'm going to move on.
I've seen that happen to a VR chat streamer called Lullathon, who, mainly, most of his content was making meme avatars and jump scare avatars for VR chat and going around. He would stream it. He would also upload videos that were highlights from his shenanigans. But you can just see on his Twitter, he just gets so sick. He's gotten very sick of making VR chat content. And he wants to do more, but whenever he does a different game, he loses, like, a big chunk of his viewership.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. It's why I ended up rebranding. Like I said again, I was doing. I mean, you mentioned it yourself. I was doing pretty decently well. In fact, that channel's actually still partnered. I still make ad revenue off that channel for the videos that are monetized. I actually recently have gone through and demonetized almost everything on that channel.
Really?
Just because, yeah, it's more of a personal thing. That channel only exists to archive like what I'm doing with my streams and like my friends now.
I'm curious why you chose to
Um,
make that an archive channel instead of still keep that your main channel and make a different channel be your VODs channel.
I think the main reason was algorithm stuff. The problem with the YouTube algorithm is that it's very finicky. When you start doing one thing over and over and over again, YouTube kind of prioritizes those videos of yours and pushes them and ignores other stuff.
That's
It's like
probably
we're,
why VR chat content on my channel still
Mhm.
does so well compared to my other
Yep,
stuff.
yes, it's why I did a whole rebrand, and
Shadow
also
ban?
on
It's
top of
kind of
that,
like a shadow ban, yeah.
kind of a shadow ban, but not necessarily a shadow ban. You have to remember,
Yeah.
it's more like
It's
the
just the
algorithm is
algorithm.
like, yeah, it's more like the algorithm is like, hey, dum dum, this video is doing very well. I'm gonna keep pushing this. You should make more of this, stupid.
That's probably why
And
I think that the Twitter algorithm's similar too, because
yes,
with Twitter, for the longest time I would only tweet like, "Oh, hey, I'm live on Twitch," or do stuff like that. But this year, because I've been so going ham on tweeting about VTubers and stuff, my tweets are finally starting to be seen by more VTubers. So the algorithm is doing a flip flop.
yep, yep, and
So
you'll notice it as well as with the things you're seeing. For example, I've been pretty vocal about this. I'm not a huge fan of like the VTuber community overall. I
yeah,
like most of the people I met so far, but there's some weird things about the community that I just try to stay away from.
yeah.
And now that I'm talking to a bunch of VTubers, my entire timeline is cluttered with VTuber stuff.
And here's the funny thing: you'll probably slowly realize over time, hey, VTubers maybe aren't so bad. At least most of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say most of the ones I've been talking to lately haven't been that bad, really. I mean, it's just I really stick to my own lane with my own stuff. I mean, everybody who watches my streams kind of knows that. Like, we really don't until we've had to. We really don't, mess with other people. We may say like, I don't like this, or I like this, or lightly criticize things or lightly
Well, yeah,
praise
you
things.
try not
But
to
we
get into
don't.
drama.
Yeah, there's no reason. There's
Most
no
people
reason
shouldn't
for
try
it.
and get into drama in general most of the time. It's not
Yeah,
fun.
there's no reason for it. The big thing is when you're making this kind of content. I mean, a great example, since we're talking about algorithms and whatnot. If you start pushing drama content on your channels, that's what's going to get traction, and then you become like a Keemstar. And I don't think anybody wants
I
to
do
become.
not.
Yeah,
You know about my news channel and all that.
yeah, yeah, but
I'm
that's different.
and I'm
That's
I'm trying
very
not to make that
different.
news. I mean, I'm not trying to make that a drama channel. That's why I'm trying to avoid doing too many videos on drama that's going on or stuff like that. If anything, I might lightly cover it in like a weekly highlights
Yeah.
type news report, but
It's different. It's very different, I think, than what like Keemstar does, where his entire brand is like, look at this person doing this thing. Let's all point and make fun of the person for doing this thing. Which to an extent, like I will say, I don't really necessarily have a problem with people who do that sort of content. Like if
oh
they
yeah.
want to laugh at people on the internet, I like laughing at idiots too. It's okay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Moist
But-
Critical laughs at a lot of idiots on the internet.
yeah,
as
exactly.
well.
I was gonna say that's a great example of somebody who does what is technically he'll never click to say it's drama content, but it is drama content. A lot of what he does.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Also, someone in chat
and-
said networking isn't your strong suit.
Yeah, no, I very much keep to myself. I mean, people talk about networking and whatnot. It's kind of a complicated process, at least for me, just because there's so many people and things that I work with. Really quickly, not to get to derail the train too much, talking about the content that I've worked on. We did SCP for a while, and I actually did collabs a couple times in that community with some fairly big creators, just kind of mostly
Yeah.
on accident, because the way that game worked is it was all open mic.
Yeah.
So you would accidentally meet big creators in the community.
I mean, it's essentially was like if you, it's basically similar to VR chat, I'd say.
Yeah, literally, it's very similar. The difference is it has more of a game to be.
Yeah, it
like,
has
it's
more
not
of a
good
game. Yeah, it has more of a game to it, and but it also, I would say, has a lot more focus on the game instead of the
Yeah.
people.
And again, like the game was fun for a time. It's just after 500, 600 hours of it,
Oh,
the game
yeah.
was never good. I just want to outright say it, the game was never good. It is like a crappy meme game. It has like
It has its moments, but it's not
Yeah,
fun.
like
War Thunder is the exact same way. I'm sorry to anyone who loves War Thunder. I love the game as well, but most of the time, 90% of the time, you won't have fun. Only 10% of the games you'll play in War Thunder are fun. The other
well, the
90%
problem
are full of hackers and tryhards.
the problem with SCP is when you die, you get put into a respawn screen, and the game doesn't prioritize, or at least back when I played, it didn't prioritize those who had died earliest to respawn. And the respawns could take upwards of 5 minutes. Because
Oh,
rounds of that game
God.
last like 30 to 40 minutes.
That
So it's
sucks.
really tiring to record. It got really, really tiring to record.
That's kind of why I stopped doing VR chat as well, is because it was a lot of me walking around and waiting for content to come to me because I'm not great at instigating content. The only time I'm good at instigating content is when I'm with the friends I know I can instigate with, like the
Yeah,
people
it's
I made a
easier.
podcast with. I'm like, I know them in and out. I know how to play off them very well. So it's like, yeah, there are some people I can instigate jokes with, but 90% of the time, I basically just my chill self, and I might crack a joke here or there, but mainly I kind of just react to what other people say. Like, I don't tend to instigate any type of humor or anything.
Yeah, I understand that completely. Well, and there's just lots of problems with recording that secret lab content. The other problem is just I got tired of the SCP community as a whole.
Is it not that good?
It's not been good for people. Really praise the SCP community as like one of the best communities out there, and it has made some really interesting stuff, and there are some good creators in it. But at least in terms of the actual forums, I don't know if you know this, SCP started on 4chan. That's where it started.
I
And
always hear the word
everybody-
4chan, and I've never ever heard. I keep hearing that name. It sounds like it was famous, but I was never big on meme culture or anything. I know 4chan was known for that, but
Yeah,
I know nothing about 4chan.
I'll just say it's a much edgier community. I used to be a regular of the boards, and I wouldn't post. I'd mostly just lurk. But it's think of all the worst parts of humanity and then put them on a board. And that is 4chan. It's a great
Oh,
place to
God.
go if you just want to watch horrible people.
If you want to watch the
and
world
saying
burn.
horrible things, yeah, it's a great. I fucking love that website.
The first SCP article was made on 4chan.
Yes.
Interesting.
And so they are kind of the website's kind of taking a very weird, almost political slant with some of the stuff, and I just don't. I try just to stay away from politics. So I just kind of fell off.
Oh,
the
I
community
try to
and
as
just
well.
not really-
In fact, there's two things I try not to talk about, and that's politics and religion. I avoid
Yeah.
those like the plague because people are so passionate about those two topics that they will literally send you death threats or worse if you
Yeah.
say if they don't agree with your stance.
Yeah, well, and that's the problem with SCP is there are a lot of people running the current board, which is now its own thing. It's its own website now. It wasn't before. Again, originally
Yeah.
it started on X on 4chan. That was originally where it started from. It's
Mhm.
got its own thing now, and the people running it are, as far as I've seen, at least in the last few years, they're stupid. They're fucking stupid and very politically charged. And I'm like when it comes to creative writing, I'm okay with fictional world politics. And yes, I'm aware.
Well, yeah,
sometimes there's,
fictional are interesting. It also depends on how you write it, though, because
yeah.
you will have some for instance, a great example I think of people. It's not really political, but it's I almost want to say topical, but in a bad way. Have you ever heard of or watched or read Goblin Slayer?
I have, yeah, I know what that is.
Do you know about the part in it that a lot of people try to cancel the anime for?
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah, I do.
I can see why people dislike. I can see both sides.
I can see why they wouldn't like it.
I can very well see it. I mean, it's a very harsh topic. It might trigger some people's PTSD. I still enjoyed it because in a way it made
me
the
too.
goblins more hateable. I was like, okay, yeah, I want them to die.
So here's the problem. This is a cultural issue.
We're not gonna elaborate on what happened in Goblin Slayer.
Yeah, no, we're not going to.
It's
but,
not safe on stream.
No. But what I will quickly elaborate on is that's a cultural issue. The Japanese do dark fantasy way different than Americans do dark fantasy. It's very. I lived in Japan for a decade. They go much more hardcore than most Western studios will, and they a lot of times will go into topics that are a little bit I was supposed to say spicier than most Western studios would dare to go through.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look at Berserk as another example. I don't know if you know the story about Berserk.
That makes me
but
think. I thought I have a good question to ask you about, and So you've said you moved from Oregon. You've lived in Japan. Where are all the places you've lived, and for what purposes did you move?
Oh Lord of mercy.
I mean, you can just
Everywhere I've
stick to
lived. Ooh.
everywhere but the moon.
Uh, I lived in Las Vegas. I lived in 4 different districts in Japan. I lived in Oregon. I lived in New Mexico. I lived in Maryland for a period of time. I believe this was when I was much younger, so I can't completely remember. I was in Korea for a very short amount of time.
South Korea?
Yes, South
Gotcha.
Korea.
I was gonna say.
I would hope South Korea.
I was gonna say how I want to hear that story. How did you escape this? You know the North.
Yeah, I was.
Can you imagine that would be one badass backstory to a streamer? Yeah, I used to be there as a child. My family escaped the North.
I snuck in a shipping container, crawled in the fetal position, just prayed they ship me over the border.
Oh god.
No, and then there's also California, and
jeez, is it just your family that moved around, or did you do the same after you left your parents?
Some of it's just me.
Really?
I mean, some of it is literally just me. Yeah, I just drove. Ohio. I live in Ohio now.
Is it for work or?
It's just where life's taken me. It's been really, for families wise, part of it was military. That was part of it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I can't really say too much about what my dad did, but
you shouldn't, anyways.
He was in a specialized branch essentially, so we moved around a lot.
Run, he said Ohio.
Yeah, no. I mean, I've said this before. What was it that I think I see Dean, my little plot bug lover, in stream chat. Hello, Dean. Isn't it
cool
that
you chat war crimes? Why are they saying war crimes?
Dean, isn't it that was it you who said that I'm the Ohio of Twitch, where you just come in, you just get sucked into it? So that's
Oh god. So how did he end up in Japan?
Military work, but again, I was civilian.
Okay.
I was younger, so
gotcha.
I just got stuck moving from place. I was in Misawa, I was in Fusa, I was actually in Tokyo for a period of time.
Have you ever regretted not having a place to settle down, or is it just been something you've grown accustomed to?
I kind of hate being in one place, to be honest with you. It's
really wow.
Yeah, no. Even right now, I mean, you can ask my girlfriend. I've talked about moving probably a dozen times to her. She's nodding beside me.
Well, you know what you should do, Flip? You should buy an RV and make it like a stream
I've debated on it. I have. The problem is those things are expensive, and the problem is I like having a home to return to.
That's fair.
Kind of like I like being able to be like, this is my place. Another thing is RVs don't get good Wi-Fi.
They don't know.
I kind of need some place that's gonna have
I thought okay. The reason I bring up the RV is because chat's now saying the RV VTuber. I thought that ever since I watched Ben 10, it instilled a love of RVs in me for some stupid reason.
No, it's true though. RVs are great. Like everyone likes to shit on them, but they're like because they are gas intensive.
There's
RVs are great.
Now, but.
Yeah, RVs are great. I stand by that.
Oh yeah, I think it'd be fun to live in one, but also yeah, it would eventually you'd probably get sick of it and want to settle down somewhere. Biggest weird thing for me is I wish I could find an RV where you could set up a desk, for like a gaming desktop PC. Because the thing is, yes, you could get a gaming laptop, but you know how hard it is to make content on a laptop?
Oh, trust me, I did it. I have a laptop literally sitting behind me, so I have. My model just spazzed out because I moved. I ended up using a. I've had like 3 laptops in the last like 5 years.
Good Wi-Fi.
One of them, their BIOS out of nowhere died.
Oh God.
And it happened during an update, and I don't remember why it died. The second one, I'm also pretty sure the BIOS died. So thanks, Windows. I'm pretty sure the BIOS during a Windows update decided to take a knife to its gut, and it just stopped working all of a sudden.
Bro,
so now I'm my third
God.
laptop in the last 5 years, and I can't not have a laptop. I have to have a laptop.
You have to. I need to get one again, but the thing is, so my story in terms of getting into gaming, I started out like PC gaming, that is, because I grew up on consoles because my family didn't want to buy me a gaming PC. So the first PC I ever had was a really old one that like Minecraft would run on 5 FPS, and I mean, I didn't think Minecraft could run. I didn't know if Minecraft was around when I had that old laptop, but I could like Flash games, like 2D Flash games. Like I feel like if I played Half-Life ever on that thing, it'd probably get 10 FPS, which is bad. That's bad because my next computer, my crappy laptop that I got after, I was convinced to buy it. I was at Walmart and I had $350 that I'd saved up over a long period of time. I'm like, yes, this is all Christmas money I've saved up over like 2 years. I want to buy a laptop. I bought a laptop at Walmart. The guy was like, "Oh, you should be able to run Minecraft just fine and other games." I'm never buying an HP product again. I'm sorry. Oh my god, I hate that laptop with a passion because the thing is, not only would it run Minecraft only on 10 FPS, but like most games, it couldn't run any games. It was really shitty, really bad for running games, really bad in general for anything. And then also, like the only game that ran well on it was Half-Life, and that's because Half-Life is such an old game. It was somehow pulling off 500 FPS.
Yeah, that's Source Engine for you. I had a a lot of people say Minecraft is super easy to run. It's actually not. It has a really it's very heavily memory intensive. So you have to have a PC with very good memory on it to actually run the game above 30 FPS. It's kind of surprising. But yeah, no, it's the whole thing with laptops that sucks is they're very prone to overheating as well. So even if you get a good one, there is a huge chance you will literally melt your hardware.
Oh
like
god,
just using it.
I have to have Roblox in chat. Jesus, that's memories.
Yeah, I can't even Roblox for a few hours. Max literally played Roblox with me yesterday, actually.
Roblox? I've not played it in forever, but I used to play it all the time when I was a kid.
I gotta be honest with you, I hate it. I'm convinced that, like, okay, so here, my community loves it, so I play it for them sometimes. But I'm convinced that Roblox community, if we're gonna have to separate it into parts, all right, it is like 40% children. No. 60% children, 30% child predators, and then 10% normal people. That is the Roblox fan base right
Sounds
there.
about right.
All right.
Sounds about right.
The only reason that an adult plays Roblox 9 times out of 10 is if they're trying to get themselves a cupcake. I don't know if you remember EDP,
God.
but that is I think the Roblox community is genuinely kind of freaky.
Oh no, it 100% is. I mean, the app when I used to download it, it looked like I was just downloading a virus every time. Like I swear, the website, the way you download it, it just feels like a virus, especially because the Roblox ads are everywhere.
Not the cupcake.
Oh god. Also, people keep demanding that you take off the mask.
Yeah, I know. I keep seeing people say flip light is hot. The mask does come off, by the way.
It does. Yeah, I saw looking through because I was scrolling through I think your channel or something. I saw was it like just like what is it called? Just a frame where your mask was off, your character.
Yeah, I have eye tracking and stuff on this model. I don't know why I paid for it when I mostly keep this mask on. Yeah, no, I have eye tracking and everything.
I mean, the mask makes you look more unique.
Yeah, it's also this character's design was made when I was like 12, like originally.
And I planned to ask about that. Yeah, I wanted to ask you because this character is completely original, but it's not just the character. You're like again, like the title of the stream, you're creating a whole universe, like a whole lore, like for a whole universe.
Yeah, so we Death Guy I think is in chat right now. Death Guy is one of the people who's actually he's not like writing anything for it, but he's helped me organize everything for it, and I'm gonna wait for him to start screaming pain in chat because we have a so there's a lot to it. Can't wait to not read the book. Yes, I was right. Cheems, you're illiterate. It's okay. But the Cheems is somebody from my server. I know him.
Gotcha.
There's a let's see. So right now we have a wiki. And the wiki is a Google Drive that has, I'd say, as of right now, roughly 200 to 300 files on it.
Wow.
And these files are not images. They are all text documents that are just different worlds, places, characters, locations. And it's less than maybe a tenth of what I've physically actually already written in previous like drafts of stories.
As someone who wanted to also be an author and was trying to make his own lore, and has tried multiple times to write a book, I admire that. I mean, I even sent a book off to a publishing studio, but of course they turned it down because my writing was not the best.
Well, it's also, here's the thing, even if you're writing the best piece of work in the world, most publishers are going to turn you down. Like, it is super hard to go through traditional publishing.
Oh yeah, self-publishing is becoming like the mainstream thing to do now.
It really is, and it's just because, and the reason is very simple, mainstream publishers are just super hard to work with. They're very, very hard to work with.
Yeah,
I've been in contact with a couple of them, and every time it's a very frustrating experience.
Well, okay. Why don't we take a step back and just ask, how did this character come to be? Like, start out slow as we go into your lore and all that.
Okay. So, the first thing you need to know, and this will come back around to why this character came to be. The lore that all happens in my stories is in a completely different galaxy. It's still in our universe. It's still in the universe that we live in. But where Earth is secluded. It's its own, we're in the Milky Way galaxy. We're very far away from this other galaxy.
Gotcha.
Now, in that universe, they have a council called the MUC, which essentially picks one human from Earth every couple hundred years to go over to that galaxy and fight these things called dark entities, which are like creatures that use dark magic. They've been corrupted and they're very twisted. Now you get randomly selected essentially to be brought to this other galaxy. So you will more likely not have absolutely no experience or understanding as to what you need to do. The character you're seeing, the one that I use as my model, which is my namesake, literally is the one that just basically got the short end of the stick. Was just picked out of a bottle essentially and was like, hey, this is your time now. All of our problems are your problems, and if you don't fix them, it's going to be a you issue. So that's where this kind of character came to be. I made this design, the first starting design this, and my Discord has seen this because I posted a lot of the original designs literally on sketchpad paper. This is before like digital art was like in my life, like was really even remotely in my life. Yeah. There are probably 4 to 8 different iterations of this character that have been posted, and the first drawing I have of this character's mask is, 15 years old.
Wow.
All the way back in this mask or whatever, this mask character. The first thing was 15 years old. It looked different back then, to a degree. It's changed over the years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this character is just one of the important characters in that story. I always stress that.
Well, I mean, is your story one of those stories that has like multiple main protagonists?
The problem is it's not one story. You can ask again. We got people in chat who've read some of it. Death Guy has read. Right now we're working on a story called The Isle of Eternity. I believe you saw some of the animations I had on my Twitter, which I'm sure we'll talk about later.
Oh yeah, we will.
I don't know if you remember the character in the red, and then the woman with the teal hair. Those are 2 separate characters in their own short story that is also connected to everything else. And those 2 are their own like main characters of that story. So It's not so much that it's one story with a bunch of main characters, or I guess it could be one story with a bunch of main characters. It's that it's close to a dozen stories with their own main characters that eventually all meet up and have to work together. Or sometimes against each other. There's also points where the different cast members.
That's literally what I was trying to do with my story, but it's just it's surprising you're actually pulling it off, because whenever I try, it just feels like it becomes a tangled mess of spaghetti noodles.
It is a tangled mess of spaghetti noodles if you don't follow context clues in my writings. Death Guy he's in chat. I think he can kind of vouch for the fact that in each story we do a pretty good job of establishing, because you have to remember these aren't Earth. These planets aren't Earth either. None of them are Earth. So like we have a city planet, but the city is not an Earth city. It's its own city, so it has its own stop signs, its own street signs, its own lighting. It's run by an artificial intelligence called Mize. So we have to establish all of that in the world building for the short story, all of it.
Yeah.
And then that short story interlinks with my namesake's main story, which is where he's going and fighting dark entities and whatnot. And these two groups of people eventually collide because they're both essentially in the same field. So there's a lot of stuff, and there is a lot to read and understand.
Have you published anything yet, or not? Are you waiting before?
So in April of this year, right now, we are planning on publishing Isle of Eternity, which is it was originally 300 pages. Right now, it's looking to be 400 to 500 pages.
And it was it's originally going to be like a novel, right?
Yeah, well, I was calling it a short story. It's not so short anymore.
I would call that a novel now, or...
it is going to be... It is going... Yeah, Death Guy says there's a lot of stuff, so that, like, it feels like too much. Yeah, there is so many moving parts, and you have to follow.
That's kind of what a story is. Like, especially if you're making like a giant, like a whole universe. I mean, like, it's hard to manage that many characters, that much lore, foreshadowing, making sure you don't retcon anything or contradict yourself.
There is easily 100 named characters, with their own backstories, interpersonal relationships, abilities, weapons. For those that actually are in
his
combat.
Short stories are, in fairness, short compared to his main stuff.
Yeah, okay. The first draft of the first book that I worked on that has my namesake in it was 1,300 pages long.
Wow.
We ended up cutting it in half into two separate things.
Yeah, I mean, that's when you definitely know you need to cut it down.
Yeah. Well, it was less that it needed to be cut down, more that it had to be separated. It needed to be separate books.
I mean, Aragon, which is some of the the inheritance cycle. I don't know if you ever read that, but
I did a long time ago. Yeah.
Those books, I think, are like 400 pages long, if not longer, and those are already a tough read for people.
Yeah. It's been... I'm not necessarily looking to make this super easy to get into. It's mostly for me. But I'm kind of hoping that eventually, with time, and it's why we're trying to start with something smaller. We have a 400-page short. It's going to be a little bit less than 400, I think. I say short, but that 400-page novel, whenever it gets published, that's going to be the first piece of genuine published work that I'm going to be putting out. I think I'm just going to do it on Amazon. I have editors looking at it right now. My community is reading back through it. We're literally in the process of working on the second draft.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the best place to publish is on Amazon.
Yeah.
Self-publishing
to be fair, so yeah, Death is talking about the stories. So the problem with Isle of Eternity is it's a fantasy, but it's also kind of a mystery novel. And so because of that, there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of different groups and organizations all working against and with each other. So there is a ton of different details and whatnot in that one, which is
Gradient keeps saying they're there for the mecha.
Yeah, so that's the other thing is, you see there's a sword of my character's back. The character, it's not really just a fantasy work.
It's like future fantasy, something like that.
Somebody used the term sci-fi fantasy.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's the best way.
Yeah, I think that's the best one. Because there are like spacecraft or space travel. The way that for example, the main character, like the main series, gets to the other galaxies via space travel. I mean, that's how it happens. But the space travel is very weird compared to there's no light speed, if that makes sense. They have like different portals and whatnot that they use to travel entire spaceships through. Yeah. So it's very complicated, but it's not just fantasy, but it's not just sci-fi either. And then each individual world has certain laws regulating technology. So certain places, due to this big council that's kind of governing everything, are stuck in certain eras and kind of forced to develop things on their own.
Gotcha.
Which obviously makes some people angry and causes problems because people want the shiny new thing. So there's a lot. Again, I think the wiki right now has about 400 articles, and it's nowhere close to done.
And you're not just doing a book either. I mean, you even have animations.
Yeah, right now we have 2 done. One which is about 12 seconds long, which is just it's the one on my timeline. It's actually published unlisted, and at some point I'll release it. I've been kind of waiting to, because I'm going to be using it for marketing.
Gotcha.
But that is the first one's Isle of Eternity. This is the one that you saw where it's in the rain. The male and female character are together, and there's the angel is what we're calling it in the background. That's the first one, and the second one is my namesake and another character, and it's a more calm scene. They're just talking and fishing together.
Oh yeah.
So those are the two. I have a third one in the works right now, and I haven't really talked a whole bunch about.
That's awesome.
So there's a third one in the works right now where my namesake and his teacher are training together.
Are you kind of hoping to make it like an anime kind of like style?
I wouldn't be against it. It would be really fun. So I work with lots of different artists. I don't just do anime. I have some realistic pieces of work too. For example, literally just today, I just finished the artwork for a new project I'm working on.
Gotcha. And you draw yourself as well, right?
I draw a little bit myself. I prefer to have professionals do it because I'm not a very good artist. But I do draw myself as well. I just prefer to work. When I explain to people what I do, I explain to them I'm more like a director than the person who's directly getting their hands, on the pen and drawing. Kind of like James Cameron with Avatar, for example. He's not directly, making the CGI for all of that, but he's telling you this is what it should look like. Here is what you do. If you mess this up, I'm going to tell you messed it up and you better fix it. That's more what I kind of consider myself to be. Granted, I don't really think the Avatar movies are that good, so it's a bad example.
No, no. The new Avatar movie especially, I didn't like The Way of Water that much. I mean, in a great comparison, I think it's so funny. Two movies came out around the same time. Avatar: The Way of Water and Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Which one do you think was good? I was gonna say Puss in Boots is the one that is gonna be
so good.
It's so much better. I wish I'd seen it in theaters because it's so good.
I love that movie. I cannot get over that movie. I have posted on that movie nonstop. You can ask my Discord. I have memes from that movie. I love that movie to pieces.
If they expand the Shrek universe by making more movies like that, I'm down because that's like sick.
I could not get over. I love Puss in Boots art styles for starters. But yeah, I mean everyone's.
Puss in Boots has always been an amazing character, but I mean I feel like the first movie was all right. It wasn't anything special. I enjoyed it, but I was like, it's all right. But this movie, The Last Wish, I was like, oh my god. I was like, I'm in love. This was such a good movie. Handled so well. So stylistically cool.
It's so good. Yeah.
It's a lot like Spider-Verse, with all the the slower frames.
People really, really like Spider-Verse. And that's actually, in terms of animation, that's probably more what I would want to do eventually. But right now we're working with, we're trying the anime-esque style. You've seen that on my timeline. We're trying that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next project I'm working on is audio-based. So it's all purely audio. It has one picture that is essentially supposed to set the theme. And I'm working with voice actors.
Ooh, that's awesome.
I'm working with voice actors and a sound designer. And we're doing it's essentially a log from an investigation that went bad. Yeah. So that's the next piece of content that I'm working on outside of
I have a question about that. But real quick, I want to also go back on Avatar: The Way of Water just because I want to ask you about this. Do you think that the animation felt more like it was a video game CG? It felt like there was a lot of the animation sometimes felt like I was just watching a video game, not a movie.
It's the FPS. I don't know if you know the FPS that movie's running at. I looked into it after the movie because I was curious. They're running it at a much higher frame rate than they normally do in movies.
What is it?
I think it's at. I'll Google before I spout misinformation.
I mean, either way, even the graphics, a lot of it felt like I was looking at the Avatar video game,
So it's 48 frames a second.
Yeah, I mean, that would do it. It felt too fast. It's like when you take an anime that's 24 frames per second and people make it 60 frames. It just doesn't look right. I don't know.
That's what it is. That's what it is. It's literally that it looks different. It looks different because of that frame rate.
I mean, it's not just the frame rate, though. It's just the graphics. Some of the CGI just looked like it wasn't realistic enough.
Yeah, there were a couple parts where it was weird. I think for the most part, they nailed the CG. The problem is it's really hard to get underwater right, and that's why it took them so long to release this movie. People are, making fun of it for. And this is the one thing I will give them credit for, because again, I don't love the movie. The story in particular, I think, is very weak.
Oh no, the story was kind of crap.
But the CG there's some really great CG.
Oh, there is some great CG, but the human, I guess it's more or less the human aircraft looked like it was video game.
Oh yeah, I thought some of the human stuff looked awful. The
The
animals
human
more
stuff
what I'm
looked so
talking
bad. The
about.
animals looked awesome. The water looked awesome. The plants looked awesome. It was anything to do with humans. It just did not. I
Yeah.
mean, except for I guess like the crab submarines and all that. Those were kind of
The
neat.
crabs looks cool.
Yeah, it's mainly it was like the first half of the film. It all looked
Yeah.
weird.
The one problem with that movie, and I've talked about this before, they literally had to wait for the technology to come out so they could film it underwater with motion capture.
Really?
And that's why it took them. That's why it took them so long to make the movie. So that's the one kind of leeway thing I give them is like,
Yeah.
you know, it could be better in the next couple of years because they have another one coming out in 2024 apparently.
Dude, a cat still beat them though, and I'm happy about that.
Well, I'm gonna stand by that as well. You know, I don't really care which movie makes more money. I think Puss in Boots is a better movie, and I stand by that.
I stand by. I think many people agree, actually.
I stand by that. Jeff Guy asks, "Oh, right, the Lumens, right? Yes. So, for people who are familiar with the works I've done in the past, the upcoming project is about the Lumens' 13th floor. Which, for people unaware, it is the 13th floor of a hotel room that doesn't actually exist. The hotel only has 12 floors." So there is a 13th floor that is hidden, essentially.
You know, I think hotels do that. I think they skip the 13th floor. Like, if they have, say, more than 13 floors, like they have 14 floors, they just they skip the number 12, and the number 13, because 13 is an unlucky number. A lot of hotels.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the Lumen is supposed to use it as a storage floor. However, sometimes when the elevator opens up under very certain conditions, it opens up into a completely different space where the walls are covered in flesh and there's all this weird things.
Okay,
so...
except for the flesh, this sounds like something from Wizards of Waverly Place.
I've never seen Wizards, unfortunately.
I'm pretty sure there's like literally. I'm pretty sure there's an episode where they get stuck on the floor of a hotel room that doesn't exist because it's a floor that wasn't, or they at least go to a hotel room's floor that isn't supposed to exist, but only wizards can visit it. I swear that exists. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but
I'm sure it does because this whole myth behind the 13th floor of a hotel is a very common thing.
Oh yeah.
In this universe that I'm working on, it's much more.
Oh, I'm losing
visceral.
frames.
Yeah. Oh, I think did my internet just go off?
No, it's my internet. My internet.
Oh, okay.
We're good. My internet was having a
good
bit
now?
of a bug.
Gotcha.
Also, I had a really big question for you, actually. Are any of your characters like based off your friends and stuff?
I think a lot of story beats from some things that happened IRL. Like for example, one of the love interests I've directly taken lines from my girlfriend. I've talked about that in the past.
I gotcha.
Like,
the reason I
try
ask...
to.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'll go.
I was gonna say I try to avoid outright like necessarily basing entire characters off of people's personalities because the fact of the matter is, people are IRL. They tend to be more inconsistent than actual characters do, which sounds weird.
No. I can see that. Yeah. Well, I mean,
yeah.
like a great example. I mean, it goes into the next question I was that I was kind of trying to lead into, because I think you could totally run or at least take part in a D&D campaign in the world of your story and run a D&D campaign with your friends and stuff. Have them play characters, whether they're new characters or characters that already exist in your story. But you are right. You are kind of right that yes, in real life, people make their own decisions, so they're not as easy to write as actual characters.
Yeah. Well, and the problem is a lot of people are. Not everybody stands with everything that they. That actually sounds fun, says Max. Yeah, it could be interesting. I've actually done. There's two parts to this. One, I have actually done a D&D campaign in my universe before.
Oh, really?
I've done multiple.
That's
it's not
awesome.
with people from my Discord. It was an IRL group. They all got a kick out of it.
You should do it with VTubers. Like, invite some VTubers and run a D&D campaign in your world. That would probably be sick. Hell, I'd take part in that.
Yeah, it could be fun. It's one of those things that just... Do I have the time for it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of my problem.
Exactly. Do you have the time for it? That's a great point.
Because D&D requires that now you have to, especially if you're homebrewing, that's a whole other set. That's a whole can of worms. Where you have to essentially...
it's like writing everything. You have to be prepared and have it all written. I mean, and I guess that's kind of why I ran a D&D campaign for like 2 weeks, and immediately I was like burning myself out. But I came up with a new idea recently using something I was doing last year, Flip, because last year I was turning VTubers into XCOM 2 characters. Like I would make, because using mods and the character creation tool, I would create them to be characters I play my campaign. But now I've decided, with some help of another VTuber called Shaw Aspire, Because I interviewed him yesterday, the day before you. So anyone in chat,
Yeah,
please
I
go
saw
give
it.
him
I
some
saw it.
love. He is awesome, really fun to talk to, and he gave me an idea that I want to do, where I'm gonna invite VTubers. I'm gonna make characters in XCOM 2, and then I'm gonna have them actually play their characters. So while I am the commander, I'm going to have them. Like tell me, okay, what do you want your character to do? Who do you want to attack? Where do you want to move to? It's gonna be like playing D&D in XCOM 2 with VTubers, and no one's done that yet, so that's gonna be a blast if I can get people
Yeah,
on
that should
board.
definitely. I'll definitely watch it. That sounds interesting.
Oh yeah,
Um,
but
no,
yeah.
I watched your interview yesterday. That was a really good interview too. Other
Oh, you
guys seemed
did?
really. Yeah, the other person. Yeah, I told you I would.
Hey, I'm
I
glad.
try to. When I tell people I'll take a look at something, I actually do genuinely take a look at it. You can ask basically any of the streamers that I'm like quote unquote friends with, like OB, or really anyone that I say, hey, I'll come to your stream. Like I will unironically come to your stuff. I don't. That's not just lip service.
How the hell will we roll the dices? There won't be
There's ways
dices.
online.
Well, yes, but also I think they're either they're referring to your campaign or the XCOM 2 thing. XCOM 2 won't have dices. I mean,
Yeah,
just trying to shoot the enemies is a dice roll. A
Yeah, it's very
99%
different.
shot is like more like a 50-50. You don't know if your 99% shot will actually hit.
Yeah, as I say, XCOM is the equivalent of sticking your balls in a machine and letting them slowly crush it. XCOM really likes to.
Oh,
hurt
it
you
will
with
hurt you, and it's gonna
RNG.
hurt. That's why it's gonna be so fun if I can pull off a stream. I think it'd be fun. It just is gonna take a lot of getting people together who are able to be there on the schedule.
Yeah.
But sorry by the way if I went. But so you
No,
watched
no.
the interview. What'd you think, by the way?
Yeah, like I said, I think it was very good. The other person seemed into it. You did a good job, so I think I liked
Yeah.
their avatar too.
Oh yeah,
so-
Shaw's avatar. I can tell he's put a lot of money into his stuff, and like he said, he's just doing it as a hobby. But he's poured a lot of
Yeah.
money. But it's like he can only stream. Like he works. What did he say? He works 8 days in a row, and then he gets 6 days off.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. I mean,
So, yeah.
I really feel for people like that, to be honest with you, who like really, really genuinely give a shit and are trying really hard, but they're not able to stream. I'm really fortunate in that, like, for example, this week I work night audit every day. So I'm free from like 4 p.m. to 10 p.m., which is a great streaming time. It's in the evening when people are back home.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, even when I get home from work, because I work PM shift and night audit, so I get home at midnight some days, and then other days get home at 8 in the morning. So I thankfully, for the most part, have decent scheduling and that I'm able to, at least 4 days out of the week, stream at a decent time. I really feel bad for people who want to stream more but just don't have the time to. Because time, that's really the biggest limiter for me even. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm doing all sorts of stuff.
Oh, time is everyone's enemy. It genuinely is. Like I mean, I've been burning myself out trying to edit podcast episodes. I've been trying to get out news videos. I've been trying to schedule streams. It's like
I'll do it.
I've been trying to edit. There's one video I've been trying to edit for 2 months now, but I have not made that much progress.
Yeah, my New Year's resolution this year was to put out 2 edited videos every week on the Fliplight channel. And so far, I've done it. I really started doing it. Yeah, I started doing it I think mid-January. And so far I've really started doing it. But, I'm editing, I'm streaming nightly, I'm clipping, because I usually have to make my own clips not usually. A lot of times people on stream chat make the clips, thankfully. But
I remember. I know that feeling. Back when I was streaming on Twitch, on Twitch, for me, my background, I started YouTube in 2015, and then I started Twitch in 2017, 2018, or 2019, one of those 3 years. And over the course of the many years of trying Twitch, I mean, I eventually left just because I felt like I wasn't growing. A lot of my viewers didn't really stick around, which sucked. I think it's because being a variety streamer on Twitch is bad. You cannot...
It's so hard.
On YouTube, it's easier because people are more... I feel like people go to YouTube more for you than the actual game you're playing. On
There's
Twitch,
a lot of reasons.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons. But and so, I'm curious. I might ask you what your opinions on Twitch versus YouTube in a sec. But the reason I bring it up is just because, like, one of the biggest things that really kind of bummed me out, and this is not nothing against my community, it's just I wish I had more people there to clip stuff. So back when I was streaming, I could have made more content using those clips, but
that
I had
is
to clip my content.
Yeah, it is. I usually don't have to clip my own, thank God. But there have been times where I've been like, can someone clip that, and like people will not be able to, and then I'm like,
yeah.
okay, I'll clip it myself, and I've done it. And I actually have like, I mean, I have a pretty
Clippers are
consistent...
appreciated. Anyone who clips, you guys are appreciated. We love you. You help so much more than you know. Like even
Max...
if it's just
Sorry, Max says I physically cannot clip anything. Max, it's because you live on a toaster. Okay, your toaster does not know how to clip. It's your own fault for using. Don't use an Apple product. I'm pretty sure you use like a Mac. That's your fault.
God. I'm curious though. I want to ask you. So what is your opinions on Twitch versus YouTube? You know,
they're both dog shit.
I mean, I do agree that they're pretty crappy in their own ways. Yes, both have really bad moments.
They're both awful. I look, the fact of the matter is YouTube is always going to be better for growth, I think, because of the fact that people on Twitch don't watch VODs.
Exactly. Don't. No, they don't. And
so,
I feel like if you put, and here's the worst part, is if you're uploading VODs to YouTube, a lot of people don't go there to watch your VODs unless you're a bigger streamer. Because
that's
then
correct.
People care.
Yes. Well, I mean, even if you look at my the CreateMyUniverse channel, my VODs get maybe like what 1 to 5.
Yeah, I saw 0 views on your most recent one.
Like the VOD channel doesn't get any activity, which I don't really care because again, it's just there for
it's
really there for me. But but you know, you contrast that with my Twitch. My Twitch has 15 to 20 average viewers, so that's like, while we're live on air. I'm getting hundreds of people watching every stream.
Oh yeah.
So it's like it's the problem is again one, there's the algorithm. Twitch doesn't really have an algorithm. I don't know if you know this. It literally separates like on the watch page or whatever. It's not by viewers. It's actually by followers.
Really?
It's by, well, let me rephrase. It's by a mixture of viewers and followers, as far as I'm aware. For example, let's say you have 10,000 viewers, but you have like, let's say you only have 10,000 followers. If somebody else has 10,000 viewers,
but 100,000 followers,
they'll be before you. Yeah. That's why a lot of times you'll see on the Twitch categories, there's people like 1.9K viewers, like in the middle.
Oh,
why the heck are they in the middle?
A great example is the amount. Also, people who are on YouTube, if they will get recommended your stream. Like if you're a streamer on YouTube, the amount of people. Like just yesterday, I had 2 people during my interview who came in and were like, "Hey, I saw your stream on the sidebar." Like actually, no, one person was like, "I saw your stream on the sidebar, so I came to check it out." And then they're a VTuber as well, so I'm like, "Oh wow." So my content's being recommended to VTubers, so now they're starting to see me on the sidebar, which Twitch doesn't do, and people are starting to come check me out from Twitter as well. But that's a whole different thing. Twitter, people are finally checking me out on Twitter, which not
Twitter's a weird one.
Twitter's a weird one. Thing. So we don't have to talk about Twitter as much, but that's a great example. Like Twitch doesn't have that. It's not like yes, I feel like most people, if you're being recommended a streamer on the side, you're not gonna the chance of you clicking on it's actually really low. It's mainly if the streamer you're watching raids somebody when you actually get to see somebody new.
So the problem. Okay, so let's talk about some of the issues with these sites. YouTube has a lot of problems too. To be like,
oh no, I know.
Let's talk about YouTube first, and we'll talk about Twitch. YouTube has this problem where it does not want to fucking evolve. It needs to evolve as a streaming site to actually be able to go up against Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Twitch right now is having some serious problems, and I'll get into those in a second. YouTube has a chance here where if they actually stopped, sticking their hands up their asses and doing goddamn nothing, they have a chance here to actually overtake Twitch in terms of being a good streaming sphere. Right now, Twitch is still seen as the #1 streaming platform.
Oh, I can definitely see YouTube out. I could see it. I mean, I think Ludwig has seen it. Harris Heller for the longest time was saying he'd seen it, but I mean Harris Heller, he was the biggest advocate of being like, hey, leave Twitch, join YouTube. But recently he's just announced that he's gonna start making content on Twitch again because YouTube's just not evolving.
It's not.
Like they're kind of evolving. They took some steps, like they added rating, they added gifted subs, but they still don't have other features like Prime subs. They don't have a better clipping system, a better the rating system could be better.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing, okay? YouTube is way less anal with all of its policies. That's the other thing. You have to remember that there are so many people, and especially VTubers, by the way, on Twitch, who get banned or suspended for the stupidest of things. There was one female VTuber who was suspended from Twitch for, I think, a week because her model had too much cleavage.
That's happened. Yes, you can raid on YouTube. It's just it's a mess. That's why I never do it. I would love to.
Yeah.
I might do pseudo raids in the future where I find VTubers who I want people to check out, and then I'll to rate them if I can on YouTube. I'll just pull them up on stream, show them off, and tell everyone go check out the website, the link. But right now, the rating system on YouTube is bad. I wish there was like a cross-rate system. If someone makes a website where you can raid YouTube streamers or YouTube streamers can raid Twitch streamers, that'd be nice. That'd be quite nice.
Yeah, I wish. The problem is these two companies are in the dick measuring contest right now because I think Twitch knows that its time is limited. I
Well,
think.
okay, yes,
Like,
and I want to say one of the reasons I left Twitch was a big event. But so I will say now I'm more accepting of lewd people. I think lewd tubers are fine. They're making content that I'm not making. Their community's not gonna come watch me, so I shouldn't judge. What I do judge though, and so like I may not like hot tub streamers, and I'm more fine with lewd VTubers. The one thing I do not accept is the fact that Twitch lets people have sex on stream and only give them a 7-day ban.
I know. Okay, we'll talk about that in
7 days.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in 1 second. So look, YouTube has problems with its chat as well.
Does it? What's the problem with its chat?
Well, I don't know if you know this. Moderating the chat is a nightmare. It is an absolute nightmare in terms of the abilities that you have on Twitch versus YouTube. The other thing, though,
you don't have timeouts on YouTube, I don't think.
No, and if you do you do, but you can't undo it. You can't undo it. So if you time someone out on accident, they just have to sit through the whole thing.
I don't think you can ban it. It's like I think the only choice you get is to hide a user from your channel, which is essentially a ban. Yeah. But it's like banning, but it's weird. I don't know. I think they can still watch your content, but
well, here's the other problem as well with YouTube. They have the join thing or whatever. You don't really get much for joining a channel. You know, on Twitch you get a lot of different emotes.
Yeah, you get emotes on YouTube too now, but
yeah, but how long did it take them to incorporate that is kind of my point. Like, you know, Twitch has had that for like 5 years, probably longer now.
Oh yeah, you know, like I said, both platforms have their pros and cons.
Now, yeah, let's talk about the bad parts of Twitch real quick, because this is something I'm really passionate about.
Well, before we do that, right before we do that, I want to hear that. But I also want to bring up one other big point about YouTube that's really bad recently. They've gone like hell full send on enforcing their new policies of you cannot swear in the first 15 seconds, or like if it's throughout the whole video, you're going to get demonetized. There's no way to refute it. It's like if you ask, hey, what's wrong with my video? They'll tell you, and then they're like, oh, now that we told you, you can't fix it. We're not letting you. And also, another big issue, gore. They are just demonetizing any form of gore now.
Yeah, including gaming, like gaming violence. I saw that, which is absolutely insane.
Stupid. It's dumb. I hate it.
That is really, really dumb. And honestly, the thing that I liked so much more about YouTube over Twitch is YouTube used to be more relaxed with its policy. You could say stuff on YouTube. Yeah, you could say stuff on YouTube that you couldn't say on Twitch before. Like, genuinely, you actually could. Yeah. You still kind of can.
We need a new platform, but we really do.
The problem is, and everyone wants to talk about a new platform, it's not going to happen. These fucking companies, they're conglomerates now at this point. You know, they have so much money and so many properties under their belts. They're
boycotting them doesn't even work. Here's the thing. I always see streamers say, let's boycott Twitch, let's boycott YouTube, especially, but you have to think, the worst part about Twitch, I think, is even if a massive amount of people are going to boycott, you know what's going to happen? The smaller streamers who weren't going to grow are going to start streaming because they know all the big streamers aren't here. We can grow now. They're going to take advantage.
Grab the viewership.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and the big streamers aren't going to do it. I'm just saying that right now.
Oh, no, they won't. That's their livelihood.
For example, yeah, I was going to say, you think like Critical is going to jump off the fucking Twitch bandwagon? Hell no. There's no way. It's never going to happen.
No, it's not. But let's hear why you're so mad at Twitch. Let's hear it. I cut you off. Let's hear you're mad.
There's a lot of reasons. First of all, let's talk about
also,
the whole
chat said every step forward YouTube takes, it takes 2 steps backwards.
Yep.
Let's say Twitch and YouTube both take steps forward and then 3 or 4 steps back. Both of them do.
Yeah. I feel like collectively as like the internet as a whole is becoming more and more lobotomized lately.
Oh,
in terms of just like what we put up. So okay, let's talk about the hot tub streamer and the LewTubers. I don't have a problem with their content. I think it's fine if it exists. Here's my problem with it. Okay, and my problem is with these girls and men, because it's also men that do it. It's not just girls, but it is predominantly female. Yep. I will not deny that. My problem is when these men and women act like they have the hardest fucking job in the world, getting up and taking some their ass every day. Okay, your job ain't that hard. You're barely fucking making content, and I'm outright saying it like openly, and I've said this for a long time. your content is not interesting. The reason why you are popular is because sex sells. It's that simple.
I will kind of agree with that. The only thing I will say is the one part that is hard is the fact they then, are inviting creeps and really messed up people.
Yeah, but let's be completely honest with you. If you're presenting yourself in a sexual way, it's kind of your own damn fault. I mean, if you're going to...
Hey, Bash.
I'm
first time I saw you
yeah.
on my stream.
Hey, Bash. I'm just being completely honest with you. Like, if you're going to be on stream as essentially a quote-unquote sex worker, you can't be surprised if people look at you in a sexual light.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I also, like...
it's still shitty.
It's still shitty.
Yeah.
It's still shitty. I feel bad for those people who are getting the assholes.
Same.
I always will.
Well,
like, no hate. Again, I respect these people because here's the thing. I don't ever plan on doing that. I don't want to get going down that route. It's like, yes, so I sometimes their content could be more interesting instead of just that. But some of them, like, I mean, a great example, I guess, Project Melody is an all lewd. She's very entertaining.
She has an actual personality. That's why she's so big.
Oh yeah,
I know that. That's one of the few YouTubers I do know. She has an actual personality besides just being a YouTuber.
It's why it's why there's exceptions to every rule.
If you're doing both, it's it's very good. Remember that the big thing is doing YouTubing is completely fine. Just remember that the best way to keep your brand and your audience is also to have a personality, not just YouTubing.
Exactly.
You gotta try to do both.
Have an entertaining personality.
Now, again, I also think it's ridiculous to complain about being objectified when you yourself are on the internet objectifying yourself. Like, it is that is a very strange argument to me. It's always been the way I've thought of that. It's just very, very odd.
Someone, Jose in my chat, oh my god, I actually kind of agree with him here. He says, I'm gonna be real. I think the people that are straight up 100% YouTubers get less creeps and schizos on their side than someone who is just a little bit of given a little bit of a girlfriend experience because of subtlety. I 100% agree.
Yeah, I agree
think I'm sorry. Like, here's the thing. You know what? If there's one group of people I think that are worse than YouTubers or any, people are taking, advantage of horny people, it's the girlfriend experience because that's taking advantage of the mentality of your audience.
Well, that's the parasocial relationship.
You're inviting it. You're inviting parasocial.
Inviting
but those are already bad. But some people are like, I want it because I know it will make me money. But that's so much worse than
the
YouTubing.
problem. Yeah, well, and the problem is there's a lot of people that do this and then they complain when they get those creeps. Here's look, the reality is the internet's not a nice place, all right? People are not going to necessarily always respect you 100% of the time. And as a content creator, you have to be aware of that. You have to be willing to deal with that. And sometimes that means somebody makes fucking creepy fan art of you.
And I mean, just VTubers in general. I've gotten so much hate for being just a VTuber.
Yeah, I mean, listen, VTubers have a very bad... To be completely honest with you, Genesis, I'm going to blatantly say this, and I'm sure people are going to get pissed off by this. Part of the reason we have a bad reputation is because of YouTubers. Like, that is genuinely part of the reason why we do. I don't think people realize that.
Some people also just think we're weebs, otakus.
That as well, though. There is some of that for sure.
There's very much. I would say that's like the other. I would say that's 50% of the reason because some people will literally hate us just because we like anime.
But just to be clear, like, I don't really, again, to reiterate, like, I'm criticizing YouTubers, I'm criticizing these people. I don't have a problem with the content existing. Just be open with what you are, Don't half-ass it. Don't be like, well, I'm not really doing,
that's why I'm so open about
content.
myself. I flat out tell people, I just tell people, hey, I'm sorry if I'm not the most entertaining or crazy guy ever. I'm more relaxed. I can't do the crazy things. Like, I can't eat a child into space and scar him in the yard. That's just not me. I know it's funny to throw a child into the sun, but you know what? I'd rather, if the child is an orphan, part of me goes, I want to adopt you just to give you a better life. That's just how I am. I'm sorry if that's not entertaining or if I like stealth games and all that or just relaxing games like Stardew Valley, but that's me. I'm going to be me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend to be someone I'm not, even if
Look,
it's for content.
Listen, girl. If you want to be a YouTuber, shake them titties around to make your money. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't hurt me any, okay? I'm a man. I like a good boobie on my stream. I'm not complaining.
Oh, yeah, and sometimes some people, think they're perfectly good friends. Some of them have great personalities even.
Well, that's the thing is, do both. Don't just be YouTuber. If you can do both, do both. I know there are people.
Everyone's chat's writing based about our conversation right now.
Yeah, I know.
I guess we're both making base statements. I guess.
My entire point is just like, content creation is a job that comes with difficulties, but let's not pretend that like loot tubing and whatnot is the hardest job in the world, because it's fucking not. I'm just gonna outright say this. As somebody who's actually doing like
I mean, you could. Here's the worst
whatnot.
thing ever. You could technically say the same about anyone who isn't doing a labor job. Yes, other jobs other than labor are hard. You can have a hard mental job, like if you're doing a call center.
It's true.
It can be hard on your mental health. But you want to know, in my opinion, you want to know what's worse? Construction. If you are like, I've worked in a construction environment, I'm sorry. If you are doing construction, you are not only facing that mental aspect, but the physical aspect of possibly breaking a bone that will limit you for the rest of your life. Labor is not fun to work. It is the worst.
Labor sucks.
Anyone who works labor, I have so much respect for. And you know, anytime they say you don't work as hard as me, yes, it hurts and it pisses me off. But at the same time, it pisses me. I know part of the reason I'm pissed off is because I know it's true.
Your chat's saying something kind of based. It is hard, and that's why the lazy people are doing it. I kind of completely agree. I'm not gonna lie.
Kellen's a good friend of mine. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's the less creative people are just selling sex. That is my entire point. Spirited Sloth. Yes, I completely agree with you. I think that it is the.
And there are exceptions. Again, there are exceptions.
There are exceptions. Not all. Hashtag not all. Whatever.
Yes, please. Again, I don't want to upset any of the people who I know are good
there
friends.
There are again. No, to be clear, like I literally know loot tubers. There are some good loot tubers out there. It's just, and again, my entire problem is just this whole mentality of, well, I'm not a loot tuber. When you look on their timeline. And they're like literally like in lingerie or whatever, and they're talking about cum and shit. Okay, come on.
Yeah, can I say? Oh God, but you want to know what's worse? And here's the thing: I think Hololive incited the worst form of girlfriend experience ever. I'm not gonna say I hate them, because especially not the talents. I love the talents.
I don't mind the talent. The talent's fine.
Yeah,
but I hate their organization.
And what I will say is that when it comes to Hololive, what happened to Rushia was she was asking for it, and so was the company, because they were they went so far as they were selling wedding rings that were branded for Rushia.
Okay, come on.
They were like, you can marry your Oshi. It's like, no. Why do you think she got canceled when she got a tweet, a response on Discord that popped up? Like, a guy messaged her on Discord, and it just kind of gave off vibes that like she had a boyfriend, and she got canceled hard because she was selling the girlfriend experience.
The parasocial shit is super fucking dangerous.
And I feel weird. I mean, another example, like, this is completely different. There was a Hex Haywire is a new Niji Sanji VTuber, and he recently, I wouldn't say he got canceled, but he had to put his foot down because he's been branding himself as a therapist. But people have been coming into his streams, into his chats, doing super donos, telling their messed up lives of their messed up things going on in their lives, and some of them are even talking about how they want to end themselves and stuff.
Oh.
And it's the point where nobody wants to watch his, like, a lot of people were uncomfortable watching his streams because of these people. So he had to put his foot down and be like, look, I know that you want to use me as therapy, but it's like, he's like, I'm not a real therapist. And also some people in chat are being uncomfortable from this. But it's just like, people, there has to be limits. You have to and you have to hit them quickly. Like, yes, you're going to make mistakes, but some mistakes, you gotta know which ones to avoid before they blow up big.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and again, so going back really quickly on like the whole Twitch tangent about like hot tubers and all of it. Again, fine with it existing, but let's not pretend, it isn't what it is. The main thing I was talking about LootTubers pretending that they're not LootTubers is these hot tub girls who pretend that they're not doing what they're doing. We all know what they're doing. Like, we know what they're trying to do. They're literally trying to do essentially the same thing I was doing.
Like I said in my interview yesterday, they're doing what I was doing back in back before I really was big. Not really big on YouTube, but way back when I was just starting. I memorized the upload schedule of the YouTuber Smitty. And because I memorized it, I knew when I could post a comment that would get the most views. So I posted a comment along the lines of, hey, I love your content. It's inspiring my content, and it's how I'm designing my content. I literally was self-promoting in Smitty's chat, in his comment section. And you want to know what? Because I did it when everyone else could see, oh boy, I got a lot of hate.
Yeah, I deserved it. Got pissed.
Oh yeah, but deservedly so. I fucking deserved it because you want to know what that's called? Clout chasing. And that's
Yeah.
exactly what these hot tub streamers are essentially doing. It's different because they're not going after other creators, but they are trying to get clout from people.
Well, and it's just it's the whole. And I'm really sick of this movement online when people, men and women, both sexualize themselves and then complain that people are sexualizing them.
Oh, and I will admit to my wrongs there. Like, dude, I know I fucked up. It's like, you know, if Smitty,
Oh yeah, I mean,
and if Smitty ever remembered that I did that, imagine if I could never talk to the guy. I love his concept. Imagine doing that.
we've
made
all
him hate
done
me.
fucked up shit on accident or on purpose and
The
realized.
important thing
oh,
is
shit,
learning
that's
from it.
fucked up.
Yeah, learning
move
from
on.
it. If you don't learn from it,
Yeah.
you are just you're not a criminal, but you're in the wrong. You're in the wrong.
Yeah. Wake up, move on, and learn from it. You can't do this thing where you're stuck in a self-perpetuating cycle of just doing the same shit over and over again, the same horrible shit over and over again. It's not. It's parasocial stuff is really weird, and YouTube and Twitch both are very. I cannot believe that girl only got a 7-day suspension
for having
having
sex
on air.
I know.
I cannot fucking believe that. Do you know that there have been people who have been permanently banned for just saying like
there was
an offensive
oh
word?
yeah, there was a guy, there was a white guy who called himself a cracker, and he got banned.
Yeah, I know. I remember that, and he got banned.
Permabanned.
Yeah, I know. I also remember the one time there was a guy whose fish jumped out of his fish tank, and he had to jump to save it. He got banned for animal abuse. The fish jumped out of the fish tank.
And then Alinity doesn't with
Feeding her cat vodka.
and throwing it. She threw it over her head across the room. Yeah, she fed it vodka. I've heard about that too.
Yeah, but the feeding vodka thing, that is
not okay.
Crazy bitch. Crazy woman.
Mm.
That is insane. I would never feed an animal vodka.
It's because they make money. It's because they got Twitch attention.
Yeah, and the problem is those people...
Oh, yeah, no, and someone in chat brought up the girl who doxed a viewer only got a 5 to 6 hour ban. That's, again, that happened around the time I decided to ditch Twitch. I was done. I'm like, if YouTube, yes, they treat bigger creators more special than others, but Twitch takes it to a whole nother level.
Well, and with Twitch, and I hate saying this because people fucking hate hearing this, it is especially female streamers that for some reason get extra privilege. I don't know why. People hate hearing that, but you gotta wake up if you think that's not the case. Yes, the bigger male streamers also do get some special privileges. But do you think Pokemon is false vodka so many people, for example, like illegally DMCA stuff and outright come out on air and been like, hey, I just didn't know any better. Well, you still broke the law. Like, I mean, these big streamers, especially female streamers, get a lot of special privileges. It's really crazy to me.
Okay, let's go back, like, about, 30 minutes? I feel like we've been at this conversation for a while now, maybe 20 minutes. I want to ask you, because before we got on the hot tub stuff, what was the other issues about Twitch? You said you were going to go on a rant about the things you don't like about Twitch as a platform.
They're just... Okay.
Because you already talked about YouTube.
Yeah, I'm tired of platforms, this includes YouTube, but it's worse on Twitch, telling me what I can and cannot say. I'm very, very tired of that. I don't know if you remember back during COVID, there were people on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube all being banned for talking about the fact that COVID was, and this is not a conspiracy theory, this is literally proved medical information, stream chat before you fucking crucify me, that the virus came from the Wuhan Medical Institution. That is where the virus came from. This is universally accepted now. This is well known. You can look this up. There are tons of verifiable sources that this is true. This isn't a conspiracy.
I feel like people are just getting banned for saying the word COVID.
Yeah, well, here's the thing that really annoys me about that. They were branding everybody who claimed it was from that institute for... they were calling them conspiracy theorists. They were banning them for misinformation. Lo and behold, a year and a half later, it comes out, oh, yeah, hey, by the way, we might have fucked up. That virus is indeed from that lab. People on Twitch were banned for that. People on Twitter are banned for that. People on YouTube are banned for that. I understand that to a degree you have to try to inform the general public of things, but,
No, I think what's worse. I think it's so dumb that Twitch has banned the word simp.
Simp and incel. What was the other one?
Well, simp is. I feel like simp is the dumber one. That one, and then boomer. I think is another one that can get
Boomer is
people
a
banned.
slur now, apparently, according to Twitch. Yeah, I think it was like that's a
It's
slur
so dumb.
now.
This is why I love the fact. Did you hear? I plan to cover it in my news video I plan to make, but that RT game is making YouTube itself a swear word.
What?
Yeah, because you know how you can create new meanings for words. Anyone can do that, and if it just becomes it becomes more public, that becomes a new meaning. He's making YouTube mean like it has two meanings. Can either mean you're doing a really amazing job, or you are dog shit. That's literally what he's making the word mean. It's either the best thing ever or the worst thing in the world, and he's making YouTube mean that. He's turning it into like a slur, basically.
That's really stupid.
He's doing it because YouTube demonetized all his content over the past year.
Oh, gotcha.
And one day, or no, over the course of a week, they decide because he reached out to them. He's like, "Hey, my best of 2022 video got demonetized. Can you help me?" Then YouTube went back and watched all of his content and demonetized or age restricted every video he uploaded in 2022.
Yeah. YouTube is awful with its age. The thing about YouTube is at least you might get
Twitch is an absolute YouTube.
Yeah. So. Here's the problem. On YouTube, it sucks to lose your monetization, but you can at least put up content and say edgier things or like swear or whatnot without like really being genuinely punished. Again, I know demonetization is technically punishment. That does suck. The problem,
or age restriction, because then less people see it.
Exactly. The difference though is on Twitch. If you do the same thing, you just get banned. You're just gone. And it's like, and that's what I hate about Twitch. I fucking hate that mentality. I hate, heaven forbid that people, oh my god, somebody heard me say something mean on my stream.
YouTube has a strike system, I'm pretty sure, too.
YouTube has a strike system as well, yes. But Twitch doesn't.
I was gonna say, Twitch doesn't. It's it's a one and done. You screw up, you're gone.
Well, and here's my
That happened to
problem,
Pyrocynical, didn't it? I think it did.
Yeah, it did happen to Pyro. Yes, it did. He's been trying to get reinstated for the last like year and a half, and he just gave up and now he's on YouTube.
Bring back Mixer, oh boy.
The problem with Twitch right now is that no matter what you do, if you say something just a little bit out of line, they will immediately fucking ban you. And that could also just include just criticizing Twitch. There are people getting banned for that even a few months ago.
Yeah.
It's a very, very shitty situation. Nobody wants to be on a platform where they feel like, okay, and heaven forbid, this is my other thing. This is more of a personal thing. This is my personal pet peeve. I hate when people on the internet, when they don't like something, chat just hit the little X button on the top right of the screen. I hate when they have to turn it into. I hate cancel culture. Like I hate that.
Oh, I hate it too. It's why I'm not gonna say the name, but I made a video on somebody, and I literally had to say in the video, I do not condone cancel culture. Do not go after this person because I don't. No, I don't condone canceling. I just want to if somebody is doing something wrong, bring awareness to it, but don't go after them. Like, even if they've committed a crime, people are going to take legal action at some point. At least they should. I wish legal action happened to a certain Irish YouTuber who did things to children, but...
Yeah? The problem is sometimes people do get away with it, which is why I think people feel the need
to cancel.
Do something. Yeah, they feel like the need that they have to do something because,
legal repercussions don't happen.
Yeah. They keep getting away with it over and over again. And for example, like, if we're going to talk about DMCA, for example... Here on YouTube, the DMCA system is completely busted. You can false DMCA people super fucking easily.
Oh, it happened to Bungie. But Bungie was getting DMCA takedown requests for their music from another guy who was claiming that he made the music, even though, it's made by Martin O'Donnell and I don't remember who the other one's name is.
Yes.
But they were getting DMCA takedowns, or I think it was Destiny music actually.
It was Destiny.
Yeah, and so the guy, I think that he got taken to court, didn't he?
I don't know. I'm assuming he did because it's a big company he's fucking with.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Not everyone on YouTube is a big company, and not everybody on YouTube is going to be able to get you into a courtroom. So it's the big thing is just like the DMCA system is broken on YouTube. Twitter has all these problems. Twitch has all these problems. YouTube has all these problems. There's really no way to win. Everything is fuck shit. So the big thing is if you see something you don't like, there's that little X at the top right of your screen. Just click it and move on. Go to another website. I hate when people go into other people's
instead of trying to cancel,
Yeah, like everything's fuck shit. even if you cancel one person, somebody else is going to come around and do the same thing. That's the other thing. People act like these cancellations matter. Yeah, great. You deplatformed from one guy. You just made room for some other asshole to come take his place. Congratulations. Someone else will always fill the void. So,
somebody always wants to ruin someone else's day.
Yeah, exactly. So if you don't like something, hit that X button. Fuck off from the sunset. Have a wonderful life. Go watch some other content. It's like, it's really not hard.
That's why, okay.
Live and let live.
Now, I'm about to say something that might get me canceled. And I just
here we go.
So, I understand both sides, okay? I'm going to say that now. And I'm not going to pick a side. I'm just going to say there's too much hate going on about Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, but no. Okay, I'm gonna say what's gonna get me canceled. If you're boycotting the game just because you don't like J.K. Rowling, you're stupid. Boycott the game because the game's bad. Because the game does look bad. It looks really mediocre.
Does it look bad?
Yeah. I watched a boss fight for it recently. The boss had 2 whole attacks, and the character model was sliding all over the ground.
Oh,
it looked really bad.
Well, here's the thing. I understand people not wanting to support J.K. Rowling because of the fact she's, supported some really messed up companies about that, and she's not, but I don't support. Here's the thing. Want to know what's just as bad as as somebody who's going after a whole section of people, a whole group of people. What's just as bad is that group of people then attacking other people who aren't involved or aren't informed in the situation.
Well, and let's really quickly also take this a step further. All right, let's say you really do have a moral stance against J.K. Rowling. Let's just say, not you, just generally speaking.
Yeah, anyone.
Let's say you have the stance. Okay, well, do you use an iPhone? Do you know how your iPhone was probably made? Little child laborers in Asia. Do you have a problem with child labor? Do you condone child labor using an iPhone?
No, I do not.
No, exactly. It's like, you could do this with every little thing in life. I have this little tiny shark that I squeeze whenever I'm stressed by my computer desk that my girlfriend got me for Christmas. This was probably made in China by a poor sweatshop worker. Am I pro sweatshop now because I have this little squeezy shark? Is that what that? No, it's stupid.
It's just it's sad.
It's
sad.
It's a very weird
it's just so much hate going around for such a
I saw they made a website. So if you can look up a streamer's name and see if a streamer has streamed the Hogwarts Legacy game.
Which is
they made a website for that, which is stupid. You are dumb. Like, that is dumb. You are.
That is
so lame.
It's like, I understand not wanting to support the game, and I fully support any friends or people who are trying to boycott it because of what J.K. Rowling has done. What I don't support is attacking people who aren't a part of that. Because you want to know what that does? Because if anyone who attacks somebody who because here's a great example. Evan, he's a YouTuber. He used to edit for Connor, CDog VA. He's a really well-known guy, really well-known YouTuber streamer, and he should be more well-known because he's awesome. He tweeted out saying, "Hey, I'm going to play Hogwarts Legacy, but I also have a lot of trans friends. I support trans people. If it helps, I'm going to donate the same amount of money that I'm paying for the game to a organization that supports trans people." And I think that was a very solid take on his end.
That's such an easy problem. It's like, okay, well, I'm sorry, I'm doing this.
He's like, I'm sorry, I don't support J.K. Rowling, but I do want to play the game, so I'm going to support. I'm gonna.
Did he get shit for that?
I don't know. I saw one comment that immediately his community went after somebody because they were like, "Yeah, you're lying about supporting trans people," and then literally all his trans friends reacted to that. They being like, "Yeah, no, you're wrong. We're trans. He's been so super friendly with us."
Okay, so 2 things. One, as far as I understand, just for everybody who's aware about the Hogwarts Legacy bullshit, J.K. Rowling's not even involved with the game. Just an FYI.
She's still probably going to make income from it, sadly. But
yeah, she still probably is. But even so, she's not involved with the game. You're really spiting a bunch of people who probably have nothing to do with her.
Yeah, the developers probably are. You're like trying to make them suffer.
And the other problem is like, okay, actually, look, I understand not liking, I understand being for or against a cause. But here's something else, and I'm just going to tell us to all. This is kind of a message to anybody who's also a streamer in chat. People are not necessarily coming to your stream to watch you champion the cause of others. Listen, I literally do not even say my political statements on my opinions on stream anymore. I just don't. I'm not gonna. If you tell me personally to say, pro trans rights or whatever, I'm going to tell you, I'm on stream right now. I'm not talking about political, and I'm not even against it. I'm not even against it. But I'm not here to be like talking about that kind of stuff.
No, and the thing also is, nobody in the world, no organization, no single person, nobody in this world is 100% correct. There's always an argument to be had that if something they're doing is going to cause a problem with someone else. That will always happen.
That's not even talking about cultural differences as well. A lot of shit we think is okay here in America wouldn't fly in, let's say, the Middle East, for example. It's there. As long as there's two people on the planet, they're always going to try to find a reason to kill each other, okay? There's always going to be disagreements. It's just the way it works.
Yep. Exactly. And it's just like, that's what also a big thing I saw on Twitter that someone pointed out that I 100% agree with. Anyone who is attacking people streaming the game, here's the thing, some of those streamers probably are actually like, advocates for trans rights, or they might just not have a stance. But if you're going to attack them over it, you know what that does? It gives them a negative view on trans people.
It turns them against you very quickly.
It's going to, you're going to raise an army against you. You know what that does? It's going to completely destroy any positive image people had on you.
Yeah, I mean, it's why there even is negative opinions on a lot of those groups of people as is. It's usually a very loud, outspoken minority ruining it for everyone else. In any situation, not just, sexual orientations. In many situations, gaming, look at furries, look at bronies, look at all that those kind of people. A lot of people who like that stuff are okay people. The problem is you also then have Snake Thing, who is jerking off to cub porn and molesting children. And that one streamer who's trying to come back as a VTuber who apparently he did things to puppies. Not apparently he did. There's video proof of it.
Oh god.
It was all on the Kiwi farms, and I think it still is. He had a whole thread.
You still haven't touched it. Go finish Elden Ring.
Bitch, even if the game one gives you something. I'm sorry.
I need to finish Elden Ring too.
This is what's gonna get me canceled. I'm just gonna say it. I get really bored of FromSoft games. I don't even think they're bad games. I just get bored playing. Like they're okay games. I prefer playing stuff with friends. I really prefer.
No, I can see that. I can see. Well, that's why yes, I enjoy playing single player games. I tend to actually enjoy pulling a friend or two in to be like backseat commentators while I play a single player game.
I'm about to stop supporting your ass. You know what, Jing? Just for you later this week, I'll stream Elden Ring. Okay, just for you, just for you. I'll stream. I'll even do it solo, unmodded. Okay, I have that one character that I killed. Which, by the way, I killed the Ruined Tree Sentinel in 1 hour with no previous experience in the game.
How far in the game are you in?
I killed the Tree Sentinel.
Like at the start of the game?
I literally Let me explain the situation. Zhang told me that if I could kill the Ruined Tree Sentinel in 1 hour, he would donate, I think it was $1,000 or something. So I said, okay, you're on. Never having played Elden Ring before, made a brand new character, opened the game, went straight to the Tree Sentinel, I got the horse because I googled how to get the horse beforehand.
Gotcha.
Immediately went and beat the shit out of the Tree Sentinel with, I think, 2 minutes to spare. Managed to kill it, never touched the game again. So, I think I played some of it in co-op with people, but I don't remember much of the co-op because the co-op made a lot of shit really buggy. There were some cool bosses that I remember doing. But
I've gotten a lot further than.
Yeah, but we only explored the first starting area.
But no, I can totally see. It's not my style of game. It's why I feel bad I haven't finished it. It's I don't know. I'm mainly there for friends. It's why I think, honestly, this idea I have for XCOM is going to be so much more fun than anything I've done in a long time, other than the interviews. Just because the fact it's going to be something that it's essentially going to be a D&D campaign, but it's set in a game that already has its rules and all that, and it's set in stone. I'm just ask my friends what they want me to do with them.
Dude, okay, listen, everyone's just in straight test. I gotta finish Elden Ring. Listen, I will get around to playing it again. You just have to remember that I play lots of games. I mean, before Artist came out with...
Dude, how many games come out per year? That's just... Think about that, chat. How many games come out per year? And you have to think about how many games that people want to play. Dude, I have games back that were released in 2010 or earlier that I still want to play. Like freaking Mass Effect or Gears of War I probably should play at some point too. or other games like that. I mean, I never finished the first Fable. I beat Fable 2 and 3. There's a lot of games I still have not finished.
Yeah.
It's like
to be clear, I like FromSoft games. I just got really bored playing Elden Ring because it's so. I don't know why I got bored. I couldn't bring myself to finish playing more of it, and it wasn't because I was like dying over and over again. I got past again. I killed Tree Sentinel in an hour, which is like a lot of people take like
Daz is
literal
here.
days to kill him.
First time I've been on a live YouTube. How to support though? Hey, appreciate it, Dabs. I appreciate it. Glad to have you here.
Okay, I'm genuinely curious because it looks like a lot of people in here are people who already know me. Do you guys want to see me play more Elden Ring? Is that what you're telling me? Are you trying to harass me to playing more Elden Ring?
Is that what it is? They're trying to harass you to play more Elden Ring for sure.
Is that what you want? Is that
what are your
okay, yes. Okay, I'll play more Elden Ring this week. How about that? Okay, everyone's screaming yes. I'll play. Okay, Beta
said no.
I'll play. Beta's opinion is irrelevant. He's not a human. It's fine. It's. They say yes, but I want to do title updates. Velkhana's out tonight. That's what we're gonna stream tonight, I think.
I wanted to ask, what kind of games are like is your preference? Do you like shooters, MMOs? What is your style of game?
Fun game. I literally don't have a preference. I like.
I mean, I'm pretty much the same way.
Yeah, the only types of games that I don't play a lot of are 2D platformers. I get very, very bored.
Yeah, that's why even despite how good the story seemed like it was going, I couldn't get past like the first 2 or 3 hours of what's it called, Ori and the Blind Forest.
Yeah, I will.
It's just
I'm
not into 2D platformers.
I'll never outright. I think memeingly on sure I've called them bad games before, but I don't think they're actually bad games.
It's just not your style.
They're not my type of game. But anything else I'll play. I'll play top-down games. I really like third and first-person games the most. I don't really love the top-down genre, but I play the top-down genre.
Dude, Halo. I grew up on Halo and Pokemon. Those two were enough to skyrocket me to playing all kinds of genres.
So Jake says I've beaten every game that came out without a week release. I call bullshit, Jake. There's no way you have 430s on Darktide. Bullshit.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, go on. I'm casting at 8, so Flip's got to do it without me. It's a 2 out of 3, so it's going to be at least an hour. Maybe I'll play some Elden Ring tonight after this then. How about that?
Maybe. Who knows? Let's see. I co-op with Flip and others. It was really fun to get through it with others. What game was that?
Elden Ring. We had a mod for co-op in it.
Yeah. I'm assuming you're talking about seamless co-op.
It broke. The problem is it broke a bunch of the boss fights. Like, the bosses would freeze up randomly.
I think they've updated the mod, so it's probably a lot better now.
Well, the only thing that was crazy is the bosses would randomly go fucking Super Saiyan. So they would go from, like, stuttering to all of a sudden, oh my god, the boss is teleporting all around me like a messed up drug addict and just beat the shit out of everyone, insta-killing everyone. It was a wild experience. It was genuinely terrifying.
Oh my god.
It was really fun, though. Yeah, it was really fun.
So what kind of, like, I'm curious, like, so in the future, what kind of plans do you have for your content?
Well, we have the book coming out this year. That's the big thing. That is getting published this year. I really want to do more animations. We have a whole bunch of different, the problem is I have too many projects going on. I have this new thing with the Luminous 13th Floor. I have the Isle of Eternity book coming out. I have an animation being worked on for the main series. I have I'm working on an alternate outfit for my VTuber model. And then, what's the other big thing that we have going on? I have a new music thing coming out, and then also there's just generally streaming, video editing, all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
The future is just more of the same, but actually pumping out finished products. That's kind of the big thing. A lot of shit has been in the works for the last year or so.
Man,
I need to finish it.
Oh yeah, no, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Like, I think it's good to have a lot of aspirations and like pushing yourself to do it. How do you combat like burnout then?
I don't. You just sit down and do it anyways, even if you don't want to. That's it. That's what I mean. That's literally. Listen, burnout is always going to be a thing in anything. I love writing. There are nights where I sit down to write and I think, oh my god, I don't want to write. Where is the nearest noose? But the reality of the situation is you have to sit down and just write. The scariest thing for an author, but also the greatest thing, is a blank page. It's terrifying because you don't know how the hell to start it half the time. But it's also amazing because you know that when you do start it, it can be anything you want it to be. It's a very weird mixture of emotion. It's very weird. And the way you combat that is you just fucking do it. Now, unfortunately, not everyone's gonna. It takes willpower. That's the problem. It takes a lot of willpower. You have to force yourself sometimes. And burnout sucks. Yeah, someone else in chat, that's Dean. He just said burnout sucks. It sucks. I experience burnout every few weeks in terms of just streaming, because I stream daily. I stream daily for 4 to 6 hours. Okay, I get burnout all the time. I just don't usually say anything about it because I don't think it's my place as a streamer to make it other people's problems usually. So what I do is I just sit the fuck down and I fucking do it anyways. Now, that's not going to work for everyone. You know, I'm not a therapist. You know, I'm not going to give you this great, you know, life-saving advice. You know, I haven't climbed Everest or anything. I'm just telling you the way to do it and to get through it is just to sit down and do it until hopefully you like it again. And if you don't like it again, if you keep feeling burnout, maybe it's time to move on. Maybe it's time to do something different.
I think a big balance is the fact that a lot of that happens with my burnout is also stress because of time restrictions. Like I like the feeling of running out of time to do what I want to do.
And that's where you got to start. What I recommend for that is setting yourself genuine. Good night, Jane.
Yeah, good night, Jane.
I recommend setting yourself deadlines throughout a year. And that way you have lots of time to... That's what I've been doing this year. My deadline to get out Isle of Eternity is June. That is my genuine deadline. If it's not out by then, I fucked up somewhere seriously. But you need to set deadlines for your projects, and you need to adhere to them. You have to. Because the problem is when you start slipping, it's very, very easy to never come back. Period. You missed a day of streaming, missed 2 days of streaming, now it's 3 days, now it's 4 days, now it's 5. Shit, now it's been a week since you streamed last. You can't do that. You have to.
I feel like you're kind of calling me out, man. I'm
calling out a lot of people right now because there are so many streamers who do this. And look, every single one of you who's trying, keep fucking trying. Keep doing it. It doesn't matter how little viewers you get. Just do it because you enjoy it, okay? Keep doing it. It's all about being a stubborn bastard until you just happen to get people who notice you. That is what being a content creator is about.
What I really need to do is hire on somebody to help edit some of the videos. Like, I already have one editor, but the big issue is time zone difference, and also like English isn't his first language, which can be a bit rough when it comes to, because I like to put subtitles in my videos
to communicate. Yeah. So people
mainly subtitles. That's the main thing.
People in chat are saying, he's calling out me. I am guilty. This youth posting art. I haven't touched my whips in months. Feels bad. I haven't drawn properly in a while. Embrace the schizo. Pretend you're already at 3K viewers. I mean, look, being a content creator is basically gaslighting yourself into being like, yeah, I'm good enough. I can do this. Even if you really may not be, okay? When I first started content creation, I was on a shitty microphone that made it sound like I was living in a tunnel, okay? When I spoke, my voice echoed 30,000 times like the voice of God, okay? Now, you will become more confident with time the more you do it. Fun fact, I didn't voice chat with anybody until I was 17 years old.
Oh, really?
Didn't voice chat online, period. Correct. Yes, I was that nervous and that shy. I am not that person anymore.
I guess playing Xbox helped me a lot because playing Halo 3 made me want to talk to people.
I never had a headset on Xbox. I always played just with a controller and just listen to other people talk. My first person that I talked to was a guy named Juicebox. I was 17 when I talked to him. And I remember, the only reason I remember him is because I would snipe him and then teabag him and then just switch guns and go a 1 and 2 and just like this and talk about shoving my balls in his mouth. And I was 17 at the time. Okay? So I remember this very vividly because I thought it was the funniest shit ever. It wasn't, but it was the funniest shit ever to me at the time. And so like, look, I started out super... You can even hear it in my old SCP streams. I was nowhere near as vocal as I am now.
Actually, also, someone just said something that's really true. They said, and this is not just true about content creators, but it very much does apply to it. But they said, lack of confidence and shyness is what turns people off. Exactly. You know what helps with helps as a content creator, as a person in general? Like, as a guy, helps you get girls. As a girl, helps you get guys that probably won't screw you over. Just as a person in general, like, have confidence in yourself. Take pride. Like, I'm proud to be who I am. I'm proud to, like, if you're a creator, I'm proud to make what I want to make. It's like, you gotta have confidence. If you don't, like, I've had so many people in life like tell me that if I just had confidence, I could accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. Like I
Take your
was
shot, kid.
like
Yeah.
I was told by a manager that he was like, I could totally see you being a manager just like me. You just need more confidence in yourself.
You have to take your shot. Every shot you do not take is a shot that you've missed. Whether or not you think
Exactly.
you are ready for it, you need to try. And
Oh,
worst comes to
yeah.
worst, you try and fail, but it is better to try and fail than to have never tried at all.
Exactly. That again, that's something I've always words I live by. You know, take every shot. Yeah, like you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Exactly. Like even if you
Shoot.
miss,
Yeah.
even
Listen,
if
shoot for Mars, and worst comes to worst, you land on the moon. Like it's just go as far hard and as far as you can. It's going to stress you out sometimes. You're going to feel burnout. You're going to feel awkward sometimes. You're going to feel like sometimes you're going to feel unwanted or unneeded. But the reality is, as a content creator, you have to push. You have to keep pushing, and it's a mental push instead of a physical push. That's the thing that people don't understand.
Yep.
It's more of a mental push. Objectively, it is. It's why I will never say that streaming is 100% an easy job. It's one of the easier jobs in my opinion, but it's not an easy job by any means. It is still a mental push, especially with staying consistent. You have to keep going. When you stop one time, when you slip, it's like a diet. You will just keep slipping.
Oh, exactly. Like I made a great example is does it not just content creation, but my D&D campaign. Like delaying it by 1 week turned into 2, which turned into 3, which turned into we're probably not doing this anymore.
Yep. D&D is a great. That's the other thing is people. D&D is a great example. I mean, a lot of people run D&D groups. It's like we just stopped meeting up. I don't know why. Well, you missed the 1 week, then you missed the 2 weeks, and then that 2 becomes a month, and then a month becomes 3 months, and then 3 months becomes a year, and it just keeps going.
Yep. Very true. It's very true.
What do you mean being a classic gamer, Elzer?
Oh my gosh. Also, is there a bar at the top? Hold on. Oh, I know what's going on. Hold on. I just noticed something on. Let me just fix something. I noticed something on top of your character. There we go. There's a black bar.
I see it now too.
Yeah, I don't know how it took me that long to notice it, but there we go. Now there's not a black bar.
Racist. Hold on a second.
Wait, what? Why? Where did you get that?
Others? Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Not gonna lie. Joining Flip's community had me force myself to get more confidence. Listen, look, I'm not your dad, Flip, actually being genuinely serious and motivational. Listen, I'm not your internet father, boys. Like I've said this before. There's people in here I do and don't know. These content creators, a lot of us are not necessarily you have to remember this when you're watching our content. We want you to like us and we like you. But we're not always necessarily friends. And I have met a lot of really cool people from content creating. I met some genuine friends from content creating.
Oh yeah. I've also insane, but I've also met a few people that, I don't want to leave I don't want them to feel bad, but I don't want to be around them all the time. I can literally think of one
I can think of one right now off the top of my head. I think we both know.
Yeah.
So,
it's not it's just because the vibe is something we don't vibe with.
Don't worry, I'll make sure to bring back the milk Obi. No, it's listen, the fact of the matter is, we may not necessarily be your friends. We may not always know you to the best that we can, okay? But joining communities and talking to people, it is so good for your confidence. And sometimes you're going to feel like shit. You're going to feel like shit. This
best
is really
thing it
hard.
Best thing it teaches you is to be comfortable with being yourself, and that it helps so much. Because here's the thing: before I hopped on VR chat, for me, I had no confidence in myself. I felt like I had to hide who I was. But being in VR with all these people, I was able to just open up and be like, okay, I'm gonna be more honest about who I am, and if people don't like me, I'm just not gonna be friends with them.
Yeah, I mean, well, the reality of the situation is, you need to also talk to other people to understand what people do and don't like about you.
Exactly.
There are things I understand being yourself. 100%, you should try to be yourself, but also do remember that if there is and I'm not going to name any names, but let's say you're somebody who has had a falling out with close to 100 people or something. Mm-hmm. Maybe the problem isn't them at that point.
It's the problem
maybe
is
it's you. Yeah, maybe you're doing something that's turning these people against you. So be yourself. Be open. Try to talk like a normal person.
But also notice what's wrong with yourself. And
exactly.
And if you do wrong, apologize for it. Here's the thing: I had a thing. I had a really bad falling out with somebody, and because of that, I told my friends, "Hey, if you associate with them, I'm not going to think as highly of you." And fuck, I regret saying that to my friends, because it took a long time to rebuild some of those friendships after I finally realized, oh, I fucked up. I shouldn't have said that. That like these people, yeah, it's fine. They can associate with this other person. It's just I
It
don't
doesn't
like this
affect
other
me any.
person. It
Yeah.
just it is as long as they don't bring them up and they don't
It's
you know
why I'm super against and this is the thing on Twitter, blocking people just because they did something or someone told you
to
to
block
block
them.
them.
Yeah.
Like I think that's such a weird, scummy. Listen, everyone's like different people. All right, just because one person in a group said something doesn't mean everyone agrees with it. You know, if one of my friends went on a racial tirade, I obviously wouldn't agree with that just because they're my friend. You know, like it's there. You could disagree with even your own friends on things. That's
Yep.
not an uncommon thing. And the other problem is you need to apologize. You can't double down and be like, I
Oh,
did
yeah,
nothing
no.
wrong
If you
here.
do something wrong, you gotta apologize. Even if they don't forgive you, at least you realized your mistake and you admitted to
Yeah.
them, I fucked up.
Be a mindful you. Yeah.
If you can't admit that you messed up, that means you have too much of an ego and you need to learn to let it go.
Yeah, yeah. And also try to, another skill, and this is something I'm learning about content creators, and maybe you'll agree with this, Genesis. I feel like a lot of content creators haven't really progressed past like a high school mental age. And I don't know if that's just me. It
I
feels like there's a lot of very immature people in the content creation
No, I
space.
definitely can. I can see that. Somebody pointed out, and I think this is kind of true, that maybe part of it has to do, especially because, COVID kind of,
I
stopped
think it's
people.
part of it. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, you're right. I don't even think that's up for debate. I think that's just true.
yeah,
I think that's just
it stunted.
part of it.
Like, I mean, it was like 2 years of stunted growth for social interaction.
Yes, and the reality of the situation is you're not going to find out more about yourself until you also interact with other people.
It's,
Other
it's why
people,
it's why the people who spend all the time on the internet can be so hateful towards people
yeah,
because they haven't seen the reaction in person. Like
yeah,
the people who send death threats to people probably haven't seen the reaction in person of somebody's like facial reaction. Because if you tell somebody online to do it, yeah, you're not gonna see. Just imagine saying those words to someone straight to their face. Would you even have the confidence to do so? And if you did, what kind of reaction would you expect? If they get depressed and they do
yeah,
something, you caused that, and you have to watch it. If they get angry, you're probably gonna get your ass beat.
yeah. I was gonna say, or they're gonna kick your ass, which, like, yeah.
That's a
The
learning
other
lesson.
thing I want to really quickly mention, Death Guy mentioned earlier that like joining my community, he said, has helped to be more confident, and Burbs just said that I didn't get to make any friends during COVID after moving. Yeah, I mean, like that's part of the reason where the online communities can help you. I do think you can make genuine friends online. Hell, I met my girlfriend online. We met over an MMO, and I'm living with her now. Like you can meet really good friends online. One of my moderators, a friendly spy. I literally went to Cedar Point with him. Me and my girlfriend hung out IRL. It was a great time. He scared little children. It was fun. Um, I wish I was joking. We were on a Halloween walk, and we were in the dark, and my friend went like he screamed at a little girl in the darkness, and a little girl screamed back, "Don't scare me!" and ran back down. And ran back
That's
down
so
the fucking.
funny.
I was
Oh
like,
my god.
"Oh no!" But yeah, no. Like, look, talk to people. It's good to talk to people, and
Oh
with
yeah.
content creation,
I
you
mean,
have
here's the
to talk.
thing. Here's the biggest thing. I think the main reason I wasn't growing is because I was severely lacking, especially nowadays. Here's the thing. YouTube way back when it was just kind of starting out, or up until like I want to say 2016, up until you hit 26. No, I'm gonna say up until you hit 2015, because 2014 is when it kind of changed. Up until 2014, you could grow yourself on YouTube just fine
Yep.
without interacting with other people, because people could find you. People could find you because it wasn't that oversaturated yet. The moment that it switched, it started becoming 2015. It's became a lot harder to become a content creator because all the big ones have now been created, and it's hard. But so honestly, if you want to grow in this day and age, best thing advice I can give you is not only just perfect yourself and your personality, but network. Because no matter how good you are, if you're not getting your name out there, you're doing something wrong. You need to get to know people, because
Yep.
then because it's connections. It's just like the business world. I know it's not cloud chasing. It's properly making connections. It's like, okay, well, I made friends with this friend. They're friends with this person. Then this person allows me to get to know this person. It's kind of messed up in a way, but at the same time, it's not. If you handle it correctly, it's a business.
Yeah, it is a business. Yeah, I'm not even gonna pretend to tell people that I have any idea as to how I got big the first time. I mean, the reality of the situation is, in this day and age, 99% of the time, even if you do try to network, it's a crapshoot. I mean, even if, because here's the thing, even if you network, there's no guarantee the audience is going to swap over to you. Twitch is pretty decent
definitely.
with grades and whatnot.
It's like here's the thing. I don't expect anyone from Flip stream. You guys do not have to like make a habit of popping in my streams all the time. I know mainly you guys are going to be here for Flip, Understandable. If any of you guys do stick around, that's awesome. But I know probably 90% of you are going to be like, hey, Jen's cool and all, but I'm here for Flip, And that's totally fair. That
Flip
makes
got lucky.
Yeah.
But somebody just mentioned Flip got lucky. I mean, yeah, that's, to be completely honest with you, that is how you get big. It's you get butt lucky. It's
it is. It is. It's luck. A lot of it is luck, and some of that can just be networking, because you can network to the right people, and then that's your lucky ticket. So it's like a lot of it is luck.
Yeah, I mean, Dean said it. The way that I've grown so far is, and I think again, I don't know if it was Dean or me who said this, but like we just
subbed out a spite face.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate
Gotta play
it.
the algorithm. Well, I was gonna say, Dean and I were talking about how like people just, the way I grow is I just stream so often, people just randomly find me. So like I didn't like Genesis. I talked to dude about this before. I don't network. Like I mean, I don't think I messaged you. I think you messaged me originally when all this started.
Actually. No, you reached out to me. You reached out to me because of the event going on.
Gotcha.
And you heard from Ring that I was making the video.
That's what it was. Someone else told me to reach out to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really normally do that. It's usually somebody else will say, "Hey, go talk to someone," or somebody will message me first.
Well, and sometimes here's the honest thing: like, big collabs are the best way to meet people, but they're also one of the worst, because you have to like. Yes, you technically met people, but say they were all complete strangers, and say you got into say you get in a lobby of 10 people playing Among Us, right? And maybe it was one friend that invited you, or you just got invited, like you just were like, oh, these VTubers are holding an Among Us event, I'll go join. The problem with that is, it's very awkward to contact any of those people afterwards. It will always feel awkward, just because it's like we didn't. It's why, honestly, I am so glad I chose the route of interviewer. You want to know why, Flip? Because it allows me, instead of doing these awkward big collabs with VTubers, all I have to do is go, hey, I like you and your content, I like your personality, let's sit down and have a chat so we can get to know each other properly. It's not a matter of we're going to message each other in DMs. It's not a matter of let's play Among Us. It's I just want to talk to you. And that is something that I think, a lot of people can do, even not just doing interviews. It's just like, a lot of people should be doing this, like just chat with somebody, get to know them before you do any content with them. But the other issue, people don't like talking to people for the first time. It's a fact. There's
an awkwardness to it that people don't. Thank God I don't suffer from this. I used to when I was younger suffer from this. I'm thankfully of the cap that I can talk to basically anyone and bullshit my way through it. But like, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who just don't have. Sometimes it's a confidence thing. Other times it is just an awkwardness thing, and you have to be good at small talk if you're talking to people who you've never talked to before. It is a skill that you learn with time. And this goes back to what I was talking about before, though. As awkward as it is, I mean, you're doing these interviews anyways. You're still doing them. You're still doing them, and that does to a degree. You're meeting people that you've never. I mean, we've spoken before, but for example, people that you haven't really spoken to very often.
Like my interview yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to mention the interview yesterday. Like it does help build, one, your confidence, and two, it will help you meet new people. And I think that's great. Yep. I mean, I mentioned this earlier. You just have to keep trying. Yeah, talk, do things. Just keep going. Keep the momentum rolling.
Yeah.
I cannot stress that enough. When you strike while the iron's hot.
Not enough points in charisma. This is why I always pour points into charisma in games, I guess, because I want to be a charismatic person. I always have been, I just know that my charisma skills have always been a bit lacking. It's why I'm trying to improve on them so much. I mean, here's the thing. I was diagnosed when I was 4 years old that I was autistic. I was like, okay, what's that mean? So over the years, I've had to learn what being autistic means. It's like what the social aspects are, like what my problems are. A big one, anger issues. Like, I may not look or sound like it, especially if you watch me play Getting Over It or Jump King, but I used to get real angry. I don't anymore, even at rage games. I occasionally let my anger get out, like when EA is being a shithead and not let me play It Takes Two with my friend Quizzy. EA. But no, mainly I'm not an angry person. I've never thrown a controller. I just don't understand why people do that, why they break pieces of things that cost them money. I will never understand taking out your anger on something physical, because here's the thing. One of my best learning lessons, I got really angry with my younger brother. We got into a physical fight, and it was traumatic for me, because afterwards, like the very next day, I realized that was messed up. And so I realized I need to control my anger. So, yeah, I learned how to control my anger, and that's
I like to yell. I just like to yell. I just like to yell. There's no like I might sound angry. There's some clips on stream where like people are like, I've never heard Flip sound this angry before. 9 times out of 10, if I'm screaming at you, I'm smiling. Like it's I don't really get genuinely like seriously angry at people.
I never take my anger out on another person anymore. I haven't done that like in over a decade. I just don't get angry at people. At least I don't raise my voice at them. I try not to say anything horrible to them. Because the thing is, it's words I will always live by. It's words that every parent should tell their kids is treat others the way you want to be treated.
Yeah. Well, don't stir shit up and then be surprised when you get hit back is also a big thing.
Yeah.
Don't. If you poke the hornet's nest, if the hornets come fucking stinging, it's your own damn fault. So, don't poke the hornet's nest. Don't fuck with other people for no goddamn reason.
No.
Now, on that regards, though, I don't really have a problem with laughing at people when they do something stupid. I kind of, to a degree, enjoy watching dumb people on the internet and just watching and laughing. I mean, when I was younger, I tricked my friend to sticking his dick into a hornet's nest. So that's
oh god.
So it's like I don't mind pointing and laughing at the stupid.
But
the reality of the situation is, when you're being genuinely evil to people, and there's some genuinely evil shit you can do even just online. It's unnecessary. Just stick to the best thing to do in most situations is just oh god, stream's losing their shit. Okay.
Yeah, I know the chat's going by real quick. Oh my god.
Listen, when I moved back from the dolphin video, Flip is genuinely okay. There's a couple things to address there. I'll address them really quickly.
Yeah.
One, the Hornet story. Genesis laughed at it, so I'll just really quickly address it. When I was younger, my friend and I lived in Vegas. This was after the first time I'd come back from Japan. I told him that I'd give him 100 yen because a hornet's nest had fallen on the ground after a storm and somehow hadn't crashed. There was a single hole in the bottom of it. I think it was actually a wasp nest, not a hornet's nest. I don't know, but there was a single hole in the bottom of it. I was like 8 at the time. I said, hey, stick your dick in it. What could go wrong? He did it. Bad things happened. That's all you need to know. He got his 100 yen. However, he thought 100 yen was $100.
Oh, God.
100 yen's not $100. For those of you who don't know Japanese currency, 100 yen is $1.
Yeah, that's only $1.
So, yeah, that's I also locked him out of the house while the hornets were chasing him.
Oh my god, dude.
So yeah, I was a kid.
Wow, that's so mean.
I was 8. He had his pants on. He was running around the fucking back of the backyard, waddling around while hornets were swarming him.
Dude,
it was yeah.
Bash, I cannot wait till I unlock emotes.
Dude, I can't either. You got to get some emotes.
I have them. I have emotes. I mean, I have the same ones I have on my Twitch. I can't use them till I get monetized.
Hey, I didn't almost kill the guy. That was the hornets. I just watched it almost happen.
Aren't Japanese hornets bigger than most?
No, this was in Vegas, thank God.
Oh,
it wasn't no, this is not Japan.
What I've heard about Japanese hornets are terrifying.
They're huge. huge. They are like the size of a small pie. They're genuinely scary. If you go outside, the hordes remember you too. Like, I swear they remember you.
Oh,
if
God.
you piss one off, it will find you again.
It's like a crow.
Like, yeah. I
don't anger crows, because they remember. Crows will remember. They're also really smart. Crows are crows and ravens are scarily smart.
Yeah. So the other thing is somebody mentioned the dolphin video.
Yeah.
I had this guy a while. He's not in my community anymore. He left because he did some dumb stuff. But there was a guy in my community a while back who said dolphins breathe water. And straight chat, do dolphins breathe water? Chat, shut the fuck up, you.
Your girlfriend.
You shut up.
They do.
No, they don't. You shush. Shush.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna wait and see what stream says. Max said yes. Max, I will. Yes, they do. They breathe air. There we go. Dolphins, totally. Okay, chat, you're destroying me now. Okay, now they're destroying me.
Yep.
For reference, dolphins are mammals. They breathe air, okay? That's why they have a blowhole. They go up to the top and they breathe air. There is a 10-minute video of me streaming EDF 4.1 just screaming about dolphins breathing air because this guy kept saying that they breathe underwater. And that exists. And again, I wasn't actually that mad at the guy. I was just in shock.
Do you have this as a video? This would be a funny edited video, or just like a
It is fully edited. It exists somewhere.
Dude, this is why I need to upload. Like, it's very similar to the I need to upload the video of me being pissed off at EA. With It Takes Two, it's like I unlisted the stream, but I should totally take that video and record it and then edit it into like have a what's it called, Hall of the Mountain King, that just in the background as I get more and more heated, like
send it really quickly in Gen Chat, and I'll privately link it to Genesis. I don't want to self promote while we're.
Well, I mean, technically you're kind of already self promoting because you're here. All your socials are in the description as well. Except for
I didn't even look.
I didn't even.
Oh my God, it is.
Yeah, I don't have your clips channel though, because I didn't know you had a third YouTube channel. I only know about the two.
Yeah, I have a clips channel, which is all just like random. It's just stream clips, so that way I can find clips easier.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah, look at the thumbnail for this, by the way. I was very happy about this thumbnail. I made this like a long time ago.
Let me take a look.
But it's just a dolphin with glowing red eyes.
I love it, dude. Oh, that's so great. Dolphin. Did that video get decent views? Because that looks hilarious.
It didn't at all. It got like nothing. But the video is so like everyone references it in my community constantly.
Dude, what I recommend you do: increase the text size on the thumbnail and make their red eyes glow more, and make the dolphin stand out more. Because the thing is,
this is from 3 years ago.
Well, I know, but the thing is, you're not the only fairly big VTuber, streamer I know. There's a YouTuber I know who has over 100,000, another YouTuber I know that has over 500,000 subs. One of them gave me advice and said, hey, even if it's an old video, updating the thumbnail can completely change the algorithm's view on the video.
Yeah,
because then people start seeing it.
Maybe at some point I'll do it. That video is literally... the video is not very good. You'll see if you actually watch the gameplay stuttering. EDF has a problem. EDF 4.1 had a problem where if you were recording it, the game recording would stutter every 5 seconds. However, the audio is really the important part, and the audio is all there. That actually has my old stream layout. That's from so long ago. I had like an old layout and everything that I despise the way it looks now.
What was I gonna say? With an old video like that, I was gonna say something. I can't remember. I've had games like that, similar with issues. For one, Dead Space having issues on stream, but not on OBS.
Yeah.
Or the Medium is exactly the same. Like, essentially, playing Dead Space feels like I'm playing the Medium, which is a game I've tried 3 times now. I even tried oh my God, it doesn't even work if you use a streaming PC. Because I use a separate PC to stream the game, and it still didn't perform well. So I cannot play the Medium on stream.
There is something with Dead Space. Everyone's really praising it, but I don't know how or why, because there is 100% something. Like, the game is good.
It should be pushing that much CPU.
No, it shouldn't be, and it eats my GPU as well, which is really weird.
When I did a Task Manager, it said I was using 0% GPU for that. Only OBS
I wonder if it was using your integrated graphics for some reason.
Which I don't understand how it was so good, because I was still getting like 90 frames at some parts.
I would try to swap it over. That I'll message you about how to do it later.
Yeah, I'll need to figure that out. It's weird.
The
Um,
EDF did the same thing, by the way. That's what the problem was not videos. EDF was
really?
using my CPU, not my GPU.
See,
Yeah,
it's
and I
games
didn't
like
find
that
out
are
until
they're just
later.
so bad. Everything else
Yeah.
about that's so bad. I wanted to also go back and just like briefly, just want to let everyone know that the reason I don't have emotes or anything is because, and yeah, the thing is, the only thing this channel is missing from being monetized is watch time. I'm a quarter of the way monetized. I'm like at 970 hours watch time, and I just
Yeah,
need
it's a
to
lot
hit.
of hours.
Oh yeah, I just need to hit 4,000 watch time hours, which is oh, in the past 3 months, no, 2 months, I've gained over 600 hours of watch time because of all the amazing community who's been supporting me since I swapped over from Twitch.
Well, if you
So
keep doing stuff like this too, you're gonna get other communities coming in too. That's the other thing.
yeah, true.
You know, you need to keep finding people to interview, and even like necessarily doing sit down and chats with people you've talked to previously. You know, if they were
Oh
popular,
yeah,
like the person yesterday seemed really chill. You know, set up another time with them and just be like, hey, we're just gonna talk some more. Like
yeah.
people will like watching that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah, basically just do a
Um,
podcast. I mean, again, that's why I
yeah,
have a podcast, but that the next episode should be released soon, but I'm just waiting on the thumbnail to be done. So I'll have to talk with my one of my co-hosts and see how that's working. But yeah, I've been thinking about doing that more, like just basically doing talk. Like again, is essentially more like a talk show rather than just an interview. I just sit
yeah.
down and chat with somebody for a couple hours. I mean, I don't know how long you're down to go for. My longest interview was 4 hours.
I do have to stream at some point tonight, but I'm good to go for at least like another
Because I'm
50-ish
having a
minutes.
blast chatting with you, honestly.
Yeah, no, this is. I would stay longer. I also have to stream tonight. I'm trying to
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
my
yeah.
What's it? I'm trying to keep my watch hours as high as I can. Granted, this week is going to be really good for me because I'm working night audit all week, which
Yeah.
means every day this week from 4 to 10 p.m. I'll be streaming, which is really like it means. And I can't normally do that. Normally Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I
Rise
don't get
update
home
out,
until
they said.
midnight. Is it really out? Oh, my dick is erect. Where is it?
Oh my god.
Monster Hunter. Yes. Okay, one second. I'm gonna update there. Anyways, yeah, no. There's there's a Monster Hunter Rise put out. Why are you looking at me? So my girlfriend's looking at me.
I work.
Why do you worry for me? Okay.
What's
My
wrong?
girlfriend's sitting beside me. She said I worry for you. I don't know.
Okay. I'm a
but
little
yeah,
curious
no.
though. Like, I want to ask a question about your character because I want to ask about the mask. Like, is
Yeah,
there
what
meaning
about it?
behind it?
There's a ton of eating behind it, but that's it's okay. So in the stories that I'm working on, and I sigh because it's complicated to explain. There are people called gravekeepers, and they are in charge of guarding cemeteries.
Okay.
It's very, very common for dark entities, which are kind of sort of the big bads. Kind of. They're also not necessarily all evil, but some of the antagonists are dark entities, or what they're called. They're corrupted by dark magic. And it's not uncommon for dark entities to take Gravekeeper's masks and use them as like a power source, essentially. They bind themselves to the mask like a physical object. Think of like, if you know anything about ghost hunting IRL, quote unquote, where ghosts will haunt objects, essentially. Whereas a dark entity will choose the mask as sort of a physical binding point if they're not already a physical entity.
Flip is secretly Batman.
And so the mask is it's literally a Gravekeeper mask that was taken, but it's, as you can see, it's partly damaged. That's for two reasons. One, character doesn't ever take off the mask. He has to be able to eat and drink somehow. So he doesn't ever, this is a very easy aesthetic way to get, to justify that.
Okay.
Second reason is the character hides a lot, but isn't entirely secretive. So there's a little bit of his, real personality sticking out there, but everything else is the E-human is what he's called. And so he's kind of got this facade of like, I am the new big bad, essentially, who's come on and I have to mess everything up. And a bunch of these people hate me, a bunch of people like me. He's almost a political figure to a degree, where there are people that really like him and people that really dislike him. And so the mask kind of represents all of that. But
That
there's that
makes
little
sense.
crack where
Kind of reminds me
still
of
just a human.
Ichigo's Hollow Mask, from Bleach.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Also-
no.
Also,
That's why the
Oh, go ahead.
go on.
No,
Oh no, you're good. Go on. Yeah, that's what the crack of the mask though is really just because he's still just a human. Like he's human. You know,
Gotcha.
he's one guy.
E-human means Earth
E-human
human.
equals
Okay.
Earth human. Yeah. Because
Gotcha,
he's the
gotcha.
only Earth human there. Yeah, because there's different humans and different planets. So
Gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha. By the way, I wanted to go back a little bit because going on to your whole thing about bringing on reoccurring guests, or like you were like should keep doing this. One of my new viewers yesterday, Jose, who came in for the first time, was saying that like he pointed out, and a lot of my chat agreed that they haven't seen like they've seen VTubers who excuse me, they do interviews, but there's not been a VTuber yet who strictly does interviews. Who are like, that's their main form of content, which is why Jose is like, I think that's gonna be a really interesting idea, and my chat agreed. And I think that is kind of what I'd want a kind of brand,
Your
market
brand
myself
to be.
as. Yeah, my
Yeah.
brand. I want to be known as the interviewer. I want to get my name out there, be the person that people can be like, hey, he just likes to pull people in and have a nice chat with them.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad idea by any means. The only problem again is just going to be it's going to require a lot from you to reach out to other people. And as long as you're mentally and physically capable of doing that, you're going to be there is a limitless slew
Oh,
of
a
content.
limitless supply of content creators
Yeah.
because there's
There's
so many
always
people
new
trying to
people.
become them.
There is always new people. There's lots of old people. There are people who are just recently up and coming. Like there's tons and tons of ways to get people in here to talk. And you are a VTuber interviewer. You don't necessarily just have to do VTubers. You're an interviewer.
Oh, I don't plan
but,
to either.
yeah, I mean, there's lots of streamers out there who are both who only dabble in VTubing or or IRL streamers. It just depends what you want to do. But yeah, I mean, why the hell not? Like the fact of the matter is, if you're enjoying doing this, it's working for you. Fuck it. Like just do what you like. Just make sure it's something that you enjoy doing.
Oh, I
And
very
when
much enjoy them. It's super
you're
relaxing.
Yeah, the one big thing I'll say is you're going to get burnout eventually. As relaxing as you think it is right now or whatever, this is one thing about streaming that I learned very quickly. I loved streaming. I still love streaming. But I still get burnout, and I like doing the thing that I do. A lot of times it takes me a second to be like, okay, got to open up stream, got to get in the mindset, and then once I start, I'm good. So the big thing is just to always remember with these interviews, you're the one who has the reins. It's going to sometimes be kind of like, shitty. It's going to be like, God damn it, I'm tired today, or I don't want to do this today, or something's come up and I really don't know if I can do this today. But you're going to have moments where you're going to want to cancel or change things or even reschedule.
I had to on Saturday because I had to finish working on a video, so
yeah. Well, and sometimes there's perfectly valid reasons for it, but for the most part, try to make sure you stick to your original scheduling. Unless it's an absolute emergency, because as soon as you reschedule, that opens up the other person may not be busy or may not be available. I mean,
exactly.
Or they, like, what, you scheduled once, it's too much of a bother for me, I don't want to do it. Just, keep up that level of confidence and keep doing what you're doing, and I think you've got a chance to, soar to the top, essentially. You're already at 1.2K. I mean, you're going, you're obviously starting to grow.
Yeah, definitely. Especially as I think I was just at 1.1K, if not below that. I think I was at 1,060 subs before I swapped, something like that. So I've gained like 300 subscribers or 200, 300 subs pretty quick.
I don't know if you edit. You said you hired an editor. I would also mention if you have the time, and again, time is everyone's enemy. Make clips of each of your interviews and put them into small compilations.
Oh, I've been doing that, but I've been mainly doing those for shorts.
Okay, yeah, shorts is a good way to grow for sure. Shorts is really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just recently started doing shorts myself. I've started just uploading every once in a while. I just do random gameplay clips, and they always do super well. So yeah, shorts are super easy to grow with.
It's just if I actually did like a highlight, I feel like if I edited together like a highlight of each interview, it'd be better. But I don't have the time to do that, especially if I'm trying to manage. Because right now I'm managing 3 YouTube channels. I'm managing this channel. I'm managing my news channel, which I've just started recently as a test to see if people like my news content, and then I'm now managing a podcast channel.
Yeah, I'm subbed to your news one. I'm subbed to this one.
I need to add my general chat podcast to my link tree.
The link. Well, the other thing is make sure you link all the channels. I haven't actually. Let me see.
Yeah, I don't think I have it in my description.
Yeah, make sure you have it in your description and everything. Link everything you can together. The more you have it linked, literally, that's something that my chat was just getting on me for the other day. Is they're like, Flip, you don't have your VOD channel or I think it was Burb. He was like, Flip, you don't have your VOD or your clip channel linked to everything. And I was like, I don't. Oh shit, I don't. So I clipped them all. Now they're all linked together.
Yeah, that's just why I'm trying to link everything as well. And I will say I'm sad to say this because yes, I like to see things do well, but I don't like reporting on tragedies. I've noticed that my most recent news video I did on Shifrilus and his accident he got into is doing well. And it makes me sad because, yes, it's nice video's doing well, but I just wish it didn't happen to the guy.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem I'm going to run into with news, though. I mean, if you actually start reporting on, especially IRL events, you're going to get into some dicier territory where people are probably going to get annoyed with you.
Yeah.
And it's just the way it is. I think I told you this before. Like,
oh, yeah.
The reality is, if you're small doing a news, or really small in general, it's not just news. Smaller creators seem
get a lot
get
more
criticized. Hate. Yes, they seem to get maybe not necessarily a lot more, but the hate is more noticeable.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's not as many voices drowning out the hate. With big streamers, like for example, and we're just gonna throw out like around like Pokimane, she has a whole bunch of people who defend her, like tons and tons of people who defend her. And then like a smaller, kind of vocal minority that criticize her.
Mm-hmm.
With smaller streamers, you may not have all those people defending them. It may be like, 2 or 3 people defending, and then one very vocal person who spams their videos with 10 comments saying that you suck dick, and, all this other shit. So it's just, it's, as a smaller creator, that's the other thing I was going to mention is, we're talking about confidence. Sometimes you just got to say, fuck it. Like, if people are giving you shit, sometimes it really is just a matter of, read it, and if you think it's valid, then change things accordingly. But sometimes people are just going to comment shit to be mean. It's the internet.
Yep.
Like, that's just, if they can take the piss out of you, sometimes they'll do it.
Yeah.
So it is, and, there's really, the reality of the situation is that's never going to change. People are talking about wanting to police the internet more. Yeah, police it how? We have VPNs, there's tons of different websites to use, alternate accounts exist. Even using photo ID, good luck getting every single person currently online to switch over to using a photo ID. I'm not doing it. If that happens, I will definitely not do it. I'm not giving these websites my photo ID. So, yeah, I mean, it is that there are lots of reasons why smaller streamers, I think, get shit on, and creators in general, they seem to get shit on more. But I definitely think part of it is just audience size. I mean, let's say you have 20 likes. Well, 2 dislikes is going to look a lot bigger than, hundreds of thousands of likes with, 20,000 dislikes.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah, it just depends. It's weird. Being a content creator in this day and age is just weird in general. We're not really in the golden age of the internet anymore. Nope. We've kind of moved on from the golden age is probably, back to 20 teens. We're just kind of in the mud now. So we're working with what we can.
I mean, corporations are being a little more greedy now, too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, YouTube, the thing that really pissed me off about YouTube, we talked about it briefly earlier, the new thing where it's like they're super anal about language and gore and all that stuff. The stupid thing about that is they are not even losing advertisers right now. They got plenty of advertisers. Trust me, I know. I keep getting recommended the stupid NSFW, furry game. I'm not a furry. I don't like furry stuff, but I keep getting recommended it, and I don't want the advertisement. If you're going to advertise furry porn to me, at least let me use, let me say fuck in my video. I don't if you're going to advertise furry porn and big anime bahangana-banganas, let me call someone a cunt without immediately getting demonetized. I don't understand.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah,
have you seen those? Have you seen the Replicate AI ones where it's like you can have NSFW convos with the bot or whatever? Have you seen that?
I haven't seen an ad on YouTube in 3 years.
Ad blocker, I'm assuming, which is a smart thing to run.
YouTube Premium.
Oh, that works. See, I have an ad blocker on my PC. My phone does not have an ad blocker. So on my PC, it's beautiful. There's not an ad in sight. I just go about my day in light mode, by the way, suck my dick stream. Go down in light mode, have a good old time, and no ads. My phone, furry and FW shit.
Oh my God. I watch light mode on desktop and dark mode on phone. I don't know why there's a difference there, but there is.
My phone, by default, is on dark mode. My desktop is by default on light mode. So that's what I do. I'm too lazy to change it. My favorite thing on stream is flashbanging people with it. Because it'll be the middle of the night and people will be watching my stream at night or whatever. And I'll swap over to YouTube on stream because I watch it in light mode. And then all of a sudden everyone in chat just starts screaming, "Oh, you're in light mode, my eyes. I was watching in a dark room." I was like, yeah, that's got a skill issue. That's got... Just get better eyes, nerd. I don't know what to tell you.
Just get better eyes. Look with your special eyes.
You better get those sunglasses on when you're watching my content. Yeah.
Naked Yoda. Oh god. I said no.
Yeah,
Yoda again. I said Yoda. Why did
Naked Yoda?
This is the second time I've misread yoga as
Is there
Yoda.
An interest you have that we need to be aware of?
The fact I've said twice. No, you're not seeing the connection. I'm just becoming dyslexic for G's and D's apparently. Naked yoga exists on YouTube, but you cannot say a curse word. Yeah, it's very dumb.
Yeah, no,
Naked Yoda.
Naked
oh
Yoda.
god.
You heard it here, guys. Genesis wants that wrinkly green cock,
god.
apparently.
No, I don't. Oh my god. Jesus. Oh no. God.
Genesis likes Naked Yoda confirmed.
Bruh, I'd rather. God damn it. Here's the. I don't want.
Turned against you.
It's so funny that it's so funny. I don't want. Oh.
My girlfriend has screamed, "What is wrong with you people?"
Oh my god. I don't want to be known for that. I mean, I'm very public about being in defeat, though, but...
Hey, man, everyone has their vices. Where's the clip button? That's another problem with YouTube, dude. It's dog shit to make clips in this website.
Oh, no, the clips suck, and they don't even... There's no point in making them, because the only way you can share them is by sharing the link.
Yeah, the clip system of this game is dog... Game? This website is dog shit.
Oh,
it really
god.
is.
Yes, this man does like feet. Yes, I'm very public about that.
You got a blue triangle and a naked Yoda.
Oh my god.
Why does everyone... Okay, this blue triangle shit, I swear to god.
I don't understand what that means. I'm assuming they were referring to you.
Yeah, we played Gartic Phone, and the way people kept drawing me, because nobody in there is good at, like, art, is they just represent me with a fucking triangle. So they just, anytime there's a blue triangle, people already know, oh, that's supposed to be Flip.
Oh my god. Oh, wait, I found 204 results for Naked Yoda. No! Don't look that up. Why?
Look at what you've done, Genesis.
Oh god.
Well, Dean was really good at art. No, I mean, like, there are people who are good at art. It's
at least you're not in Bowser feet? Yeah, I know, right? If I'm into Bowser feet, I'd be a freaking chibi. Oh man, you know, I'm gonna make this a YouTube short. I'm calling her out. She's into Bowser feet. yeah, I'm calling you out, Chibi. I don't think you'll ever see this. You want to fight me on it?
Bowser feet.
Then you can chat with me in an interview. I don't know.
What's Bowser feet?
Yeah, she's into Bowser feet.
Oh, that's disgusting. I hate that. I hate that so much. They probably smell like death. Oh, the toe jam. They're all stuck together. They're like animal feet.
Oh my god. Oh man, yeah, Chibidoki does like Bowser feet. Yes, very much so. The Jedi Grandmaster.
God damn it, Max.
Oh my god. Wait, why did it get deleted?
Maybe YouTube Autobot?
Active Genesis versus Chibidoki win. Oh my god. If I got a chance to chat with her, that'd be awesome. Man,
yeah, isn't she a bigger?
She's
YouTuber?
a fairly large bigger, like you know, much bigger than me. I mean, I'm definitely a small fry. I'm very much a small fry.
I don't know who she is, unfortunately. I don't know a lot of these.
She collabs a lot with another VTuber called Nux Taku.
I know Nux.
Yeah, she does. She's been pulled into a lot of his videos.
I will say, okay, this is the part where I get you canceled. I have to ask your opinion on something. You can choose not to answer. AI art.
AI art. I think that people who are selling it are in the wrong, but people who are doing it for fun are fine.
Do you know how the diffusion model works, out of curiosity? I'm genuinely curious.
Not fully, but I do know it takes artwork from all across the internet.
Do you think... Okay, let me rephrase. Do you think that it copies the internet and the artwork and essentially pastes something together with it? Or do you think that it's actually generating something original? I'm just genuinely... I'm genuinely... You may be misinformed.
Maybe a bit of both.
Okay, so... I have some very strong opinions on AR. I'm not going to say them here because I don't want to get you canceled. What I will say is I really wish more people would do research on it. Because it does not work the way Next Talk is actually somebody who keeps commenting on AR and has no fucking idea how it works. Because the way it works is it's not like a photo collab. It's not stitching a whole bunch of images together to make something new. That's just outright not how it works. Now, what it does do is it uses these images in a data set. And you could argue, the fair use or whatnot on that. I don't know. I'm not a legal expert, so I'm not even going to try to fucking touch that. But the reality is it's actually objectively generating something completely new. That's just the way it works. A lot of people don't like hearing that. I really do suggest people do research on the Stable Diffusion model. That's what the model is called. Because that is actually how it works. It is genuinely. People say AI can't learn. Well,
I don't know. I'm just not gonna take a full stance on it. I can see why it's wrong. I can also see it being neat.
I've been very, very careful with what I say on it because people get very, very passionate about it.
Well, yeah, it's one of those topics that people are gonna argue about you with.
The problem I have with it is the people who are saying that if you use AR, you deserve to die.
It's fair to not take a stance. Yeah.
It.
I mean, I especially shouldn't take a stance as I'm especially not an artist.
Yeah. Well, as somebody who knows a decent amount about art, the reality is that this is a stance that this is not taking a side or the other. Pandora's box is open. So, it's not going away anytime soon. So, unfortunately, this is the reality of things as it is. And yes, it will be exploited 100%. If you think it won't be, you're insane. It will be exploited. Yeah, it will be.
Yep.
But I'm just genuinely curious about that because there's a lot of VTubers who make comments about AI art, but then don't actually look into how it works.
I mean, I just don't take a stance because again, I'm not fully informed on the
situation. Too hot. Yeah, it's a very hot topic as well. Even I don't talk about it anymore because people get super mad about it. Like they get very, very upset about it. But I do have a problem with people, like especially bigger content creators, who keep saying it's just outright. They keep saying that it stitches people's art together to make something new. No, that's not. It just objectively is not how it works. It's not what it does. That's what it does. Use the art in a data set, though, and that's where you could use the argument of, well, I don't like that they took their art and put it in the data set without their permission.
Yeah, I could see
that's understandable. That's understandable to not like. Now, granted, again, it depends on the site and the TOS of the site as well. So it's a whole fuck situation. I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on it.
Not really.
Okay, that's probably for the best, to be honest, because there are people who are very, very passionate about it.
Oh,
yeah, no, I don't know, man. It's the other thing I have kind of a problem with is people online just. I get being passionate about shit. I'm passionate about shit.
Cancel culture needs to stop.
Yeah, just stop canceling people for disagreeing with you.
Yep.
My favorite. One of the things I fucking hate is when people, for example, are posting let's say a big streamer posts an AI piece of artwork for fun, not monetizing it, just for fun. And I said, I made this with AI art, it looks fucking weird. And everybody in the comments is shitting on that. It's like, he's not selling it. He's not making money off of it. He just posted it for fucking fun. Is this really cancelable just because he used it to have fun? Like, it's just really weird to me. Yeah. I don't get it. I really do not like the cancel culture shit either. I'm completely with you on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's also just overdone at this point. I feel like every day someone new is getting canceled.
I mean, there's a lot. Yeah, there's, and not just about that. Just in general, there's somebody out there getting canceled for something. Yeah, people just want to get on a cancel train. People just want to hate. People just want to fill things with hate. It's like
it's trendy as well as the other thing. It is genuinely trendy. You have to remember you get good boy brownie points for being with the people who are canceling X-Person Law at the times. Yeah, so it's very frustrating to see.
I don't think there's any long-term growth or anything.
There's not. Look at fucking what's her face? I forgot the person's name already because that's so mean. I don't remember who they are, but there was literally somebody I'm thinking of off the top of my head who was like literally clout chasing like that, where they were just like canceling people nonstop, and now they have no following. Like they're gone. Like they are very, very small now. It's like, yeah, I mean, you can't if you make a career off of actively destroying other people's careers, you can't be surprised when your own community eventually turns on you.
Oh yeah, and also another thing I don't like is people who talk crap at other content creators behind their back. Or like
I hate that. Say it up front you don't like someone.
Yeah.
Don't like
I had one content creator in VR chat who kept hanging around me, But then they went on this huge, like they I don't even know if they were streaming, but they went on a huge rant about how these other content creators didn't deserve to be as big as they are and how she's more entertaining than them. I unfriended her. I was like, I'm done with you.
It's just like I understand being frustrated that people who are less entertaining are big. I get that. I mean,
These people were entertaining that she was calling out.
Okay.
There are people I would watch, but she was like, they don't deserve their growth. I'm just like,
yeah,
you're wrong.
I don't know. I just have a problem. Here's my thing: if you're gonna talk shit, do it to my face. Like that's what I've always said. I don't like the fact. And a great example: there was recently a DM log that got leaked with a bunch of these e-girls.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
They're publicly all being like, "Oh, slay queen! Oh, good job!" You know, like being nice to each other. But behind the scenes, they're all the most hateful fucking bitches. They were talking about like editing each other into Photoshop, saying slurs, talking shit behind each other's back, like dude, all this weird, horrible shit to each other, and it was all in a little private DM conversation that none of these other girls could see. And it's like I understand not liking someone, but it's way better to just be like, nah, I just don't like that bitch, and then just be done with it from there.
Yeah.
Like, just be like, no, I don't like them. Done. That's it. That's the end of the conversation. Not let's go harass the person. It's just, yeah, I don't like them. Done. Piece of cake.
Yeah, there's no reason to harass people at all.
It doesn't need to go further than just disliking them. Or the other thing is having disagreements is not inherently a bad thing. You know, it's okay to disagree with people. I know that it's like really shocking in this day and age for a lot of people who are terminally online, but disagreeing with people is healthy. It's very normal. Yeah, the instant block is not the way to handle it most of the time.
No, debatable. I mean, debates are fun to people for good reason.
Yeah. Say the worst is when someone talks to you and then talks about you behind the block, like if you're gonna block them and move on. Yeah, that's the other thing is I hate this attitude. A lot of people do this on Twitter, like a lot.
They'll block and then they'll start talking shit because the people can't see their tweets.
Yeah, or they'll respond and then block before you get a chance to defend yourself, or like reiterate. And like there's a lot of people who do that. Like a ton of people do that. It's very weird to me. Very strange.
It's very strange.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I'm pretty much trying to now, like just in general, focus more on my own projects. Like I might start doing more collabs like this. I've been talking to more VTubers lately, and I haven't hated every single.
I was gonna ask. Yeah, are you planning to do a lot more collabs and networking yourself this year?
I think I'm gonna try to. I want to clean up just like my Twitter before I do that, but I think my goal is to like actually start, talking to people and try. Because my thing is as well, like I don't mind supporting other content creators. Like again, I don't know if Obi's still here, but there's tons of people who stream that like I actively. Look, I may not always be in there lurking, but I'll go in, give them a gift sub, or just say like, "Hey, I'm just here to lurk for a bit," and like I'll do that. I do it to Obi all the time. I do it for I did it for Val back when Val was streaming. Like, there's tons of people who like I don't really know super
Val
well.
Seems
but
awesome. I wish like they were interacting with not on Twitter, but recently they've started slowing down. So I hope they're doing all right.
Yeah, I think she's doing okay from what I understand. But like I mean, I have a list of streamers. Like my follow list this year went up because that's the thing is I don't watch other people on Twitch a super ton.
Yeah.
But this year that's changed. Like I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 people that this year I followed and I actually attend their streams regularly just to support them.
I wish
some of these people.
I wish I would follow streamers.
Well, and some of these people only have 1 to 2 viewers, but I'll still pop in just to be like, hey, I'm here. Like, I just if I tell you I'm going to be there, I will be there. I think that's a good stance to have. I really hate people on Twitter that do this shit. Like, I'm going to boost small streamers, and then all these people hoping to get a little bit of help because, you're streaming, you're trying to network, you're trying to get more people watching. They respond to these threads, and then they're like, did anything actually come of this? And it's like, no, nobody showed up. It's like, yeah, I mean, they're not actually giving a shit about you. They're just farming you for likes.
Yeah, exactly.
I think those are really, really gross posts, to be honest with you.
Oh, they are.
Because I really hate. I wish we lived in a world where everybody who wanted to be a professional streamer could be a professional streamer. Unfortunately, the reality is it's not going to ever happen that way. I really do feel bad for the people who are sitting at 1 to 3 people trying their damn best, because there are people out there who still to this day stream,
and some of them are super entertaining.
Yeah, and some are fun. There was this one guy on Twitch, I don't remember his name, but he was this like overweight kid. He stripped his shirt off, and the guy had to cool his PC by sticking his tower out the window. because he couldn't afford to get a new streaming rig. And he was the most entertaining motherfucker. Anytime he played Fortnite, which, by the way, I hate Fortnite. Like, I will never play that game. But I watched this dude play Fortnite because I was so entertaining. Every time he would get a kill, he would stand up from his chair, just again, and he has no shirt on, and just start like dancing and flailing around. It was the most entertaining like thing I've ever watched. Every kill was like a genuine like party for him. He'd play rave music in the background too, is the other thing he'd do. So like rave music would start playing, the shirtless like overweight guy would stand up and he'd just start fucking dancing. He's not around anymore. I don't know what happened to him, but he streamed consistently for like a year. He's just gone. His channel's just gone. And it's like I feel for people like that. Like he literally streamed consistently for a year. I popped in every couple weeks just to be like, oh look, he's still going.
Well, and that's why I don't think Twitch is the place to do it. If you're gonna stream and you're a small creator, don't do it on Twitch. I hate to say it. Unless you're gonna be networking like crazy and making content on other platforms, it's not worth it. I genuinely think that YouTube will help small creators grow, and who knows, maybe eventually just swap back to Twitch. But YouTube is the place where you will be recommended to people.
You get your audience on YouTube, and if you want to do Twitch, you move people to Twitch. That's what people have always told me.
That's what it should always have done. I mean, people uploaded clips and highlights to YouTube for a reason.
Yeah. Just to be clear, like for people who watch me who are in here, I am the rare exception to this rule. Like, again, I got most of my Twitch organically most of my growth organically on Twitch so far. Do not follow what I did. Seriously, I'm not joking when I say that. I am literally just getting lucky. Even right now, I am just getting lucky. Do not do what I'm fucking doing. I'm just doing what I'm doing because right now it's working for me. I'm also now uploading on YouTube and shit. You can look at my channels. I'm more active on YouTube than I've ever been before because I'm aware as to the way things work. Do what Genesis is saying. You need to start on YouTube. Your VODs being up 24/7 is a huge fucking deal. Because remember, Twitch deletes your VODs. Okay, those VODs go away.
YouTube doesn't, and YouTube will sometimes, even if say a YouTube stream has been, you streamed it like a year ago, it can still randomly pop up in someone's recommended feed, and for them to watch the VOD, and if they like what they're seeing, they might come sub.
Exactly, and that's kind of the big thing. You know, you need to just remember that, like, you want to grow your audience, and you want your audience to follow you across platform. It is a very very hard thing to do. It's something that thankfully within the last year I've started to perfect. My audience will follow me from Twitter to Twitch to YouTube and then back again. And to be honest with you, I have my Discord to thank for that because I use my Discord as a central hub of everything I do.
Yeah, I try to do that, but my Discord community is pretty hard. And
I mean, you've seen my Discord. My Discord's fucking crazy. There's so many people in it, and there's always people talking, either in voice chat or in text chat.
I think the biggest issue I had is a lot of the friends I made were also content creators trying to grow, and so therefore they don't have time to join my Discord server or keep an eye on it. And that's slowly changing now this year because I'm starting to actually grow an organic audience, just like you're saying.
Well, here's an example. I mean, I joined your Discord, and I tried to talk to you in your Discord every once in a while.
Yeah.
Like I again, when I tell you I'll do something, if I join your Discord or something, I'm not just always going to lurk. I will try to actively help you. That's always been my rule. That's always been my fucking rule. This is not just like I'm not going to bullshit you. When you talk to me, you get what you get. I'm what the person you're talking to. There isn't a fucking veneer behind this mask. As weird as that sounds, I might be the masked one, but I'm still as fucking honest as I can be with things. If I say I can do something, I will do it. I might be a bit late doing it. There's a special time called flip time, which is like 1 hour is like 8 hours of flip time. Okay, so I might be a bit late doing it, but I will show up. I might be coming in the door as you're about to give your performance, but I will show up. So I try my best to actually give support to people. Yeah, flip time is long. All right, Death, you know what? I'll remember this. Don't you slander me.
Oh my god.
Listen, flip time is the best time measurement, okay? It's only a little late.
Hey, that's how you know you have a good community. When your community bullies you in a friendly manner, you know you got a good community.
Well, and that's the thing, again, my community, I mean, they're here. This is not even my channel, and a lot of them have come.
I know,
this
which is awesome.
But, they follow me from place to place. And that's what you need as a content creator. And it's super hard to get that. I cannot tell you how fucking grateful I am for the people I have that do follow me. For the people that do things like my beta. Some members of my community are beta reading my book. That's how much trust I have with some of these people.
Oh yeah.
Like, I can't tell you how grateful I am for those people, for the people who come to all the Twitch streams, the people who come to these interviews,
I
for
mean,
the
the
people who
same.
come to my YouTube
I'm grateful
videos.
for anyone who joins my streams. Like, and the thing is, I will remember people who have been there to support me from day
Yep.
one. Like, I will never forget the name. And he popped in sometime last year because I started making XCOM content again, but on YouTube instead of Twitch, which it was surprising to see him jump the shark and come to YouTube. Um, but there is a name I'll never forget it because he was one of the people who was there when I hit affiliate because he kept watching my streams, and that's a name of a viewer called Electro Dynamic Rage Crit. I will never forget that name. I remember if a viewer has been there long enough to support me, I will never forget that.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, you get those viewers that are there for everything you do, and it's cool. It is genuinely cool.
Oh
So,
yeah.
you get to build up a lot of, and again, at the risk of sounding parasocial, you do get some actual friendships.
You do.
You do get some genuine friendships. Now,
Doesn't mean everyone will become a friend.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that is the one thing you need to remember.
Again, it's similar to how content creators can get lucky growing. Sometimes you get lucky and you get that chance to befriend a content creator. It's a matter luck of the draw. Just don't get your hopes up extremely high.
That's one big thing I'll say as well is don't expect content creators to necessarily always cater to you.
Exactly.
They are essentially I will say, content creator is essentially the modern day court jester. Okay, you come to us, and you go, ha ha ha, make me laugh, funny man, and we try our best, but or we inform you or whatever our job is, whatever our content is to do. But the fact of the matter is, we're not always going to be able to cater to you. I get really frustrated with people who join my Discord, because my Discord's public, and expect us to immediately always listen to everything they have to say. Dude, there's like 20 people in voice chat, like at all times. We're not always going to be able to hear every little thing you say. We're trying, man, but there's a lot of people here.
Oh, yeah.
So,
also, Radiant said, we like talking to Flip, and we also like those that have positive interactions with Flip.
Yeah, I mean, again, I've got a very loyal, it's a small community, but it is a very loyal group of people. And for that, I mean, as much as a lot of them are, little shit posters, and I would like to strangle some of them in Minecraft, they're good people. Genuinely, they're good people. I've known some of these people for years. Some of them have been following me since back when I did SCP. So, Yeah. Anyways, okay, I got about 15 minutes left, so let's start trying to wrap things up. Do you have any last questions?
I think I've pretty much asked just about anything, at least for this interview or talk show. I can pull you on again sometime in the future, though, if you are down.
Dude, I don't mind at all. This is a lot of fun. The only reason I'm leaving is just because I needed to make sure to keep my stream hours up this month. That's it. I would actually stay longer if I didn't have to stream myself tonight. I'm genuinely enjoying this.
That makes me happy that you're enjoying this. I'm enjoying myself, too. This has been really fun to chat with you.
Yeah, well, it seems like all the people who are in here are liking it as well. So I don't see really anyone complaining about anything.
Yeah,
so,
I hope everyone that's been watching is enjoying. I've been trying to make every interview I have a positive experience for anyone I ask on, any guest I have.
Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, again, it really is. It does feel like a talk show.
Yeah,
and it's not bad. Okay, 1 second. I was saying, ask about the mecha. I can't tell you yet. I'm sorry. That's to be announced. So even if he was to ask, I can't tell you about that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I enjoy listening to these. Hey, I'm glad.
Yeah, I think it's turning out great, to be honest with you. And I think, honestly, Genesis, I said this to Obi. Me, you, Obi, and I think there's a couple others who are kind of all. You haven't really talked to Obi a lot, but there's a group of people that I kind of consider to be my current little circle of people that I'm aware. I think most of the people that I know, as we grow, we're going to all be able to help each other.
Oh, yeah.
And we're all going to be able to keep getting bigger and bigger.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, Obi and I have already started doing that. Obi, I genuinely consider to be like one of my homies now. And the two of us, like, we raid each other all the time. We've both been growing at about the same pace because of that. Like, we really are genuinely helping each other. And like, the same thing goes for here, dude. Like, I like you. You're chill to talk to. I like your style of content. I like your model and everything. So I think it's cool.
Hey.
I think it's perfectly, it's cool coming in and talking to people like this. It's a much better experience my first time. That is for sure.
I bet.
So,
I don't. What was your first time with somebody? I can assume
it was with who you're assuming. Yes.
That
so, I
could see why that was a horrible first time. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that was.
I had never collabed before that period.
Yeah, well, probably the worst way to experience it. I hope that this was a much more enjoyable experience compared to that.
Yes, this is much more enjoyable. This is definitely a far better experience, and also just better put together as well. I mean, you have a much better setup here. like just in general.
Well, it's you say setup, but I mean, I literally just have a default background from VTube Studio, and I also, I didn't even write any of these questions down. These are just things that popped up in the top of my head.
I can remember Flip afterwards saying that he wouldn't ever collab again. Yeah, I mean that was the plan, was to never ever speak to another VTuber again. That was indeed the plan. But here we are. So
Yeah, I'm glad that's changed. Yeah, like 10 different times. Oh boy.
I was genuinely super pissed. I mean, that entire situation was very
Was it just
frustrating.
one stream you did and it just wasn't a good experience?
The problem, it was multiple streams, and the problem wasn't so much the streams as how they acted after the stream.
Oh wow.
Like while they're on stream, they were super nice. They were very openly, again, this is why I have a problem with people who act like this. If you're gonna be a cunt, do it to my face. Don't do this, behind the scenes stuff. I'm completely fine with, collabing with people who are gonna be honest with me. This guy wasn't honest with me. He just wasn't. So.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I'm someone who has always valued honesty because the fact that I've told this story before. I'll do it, summarize it. But basically, I lied to my parents about some homework to the point where I was failing classes. They lost complete trust in me, so I had to do the most embarrassing thing ever, and I had to get my teachers to stamp and sign. Basically, yeah, I had to, every day I had to have them stamp off saying if I didn't have homework, if I had finished all my homework. All that stuff. If I had to study, I would have to have my teachers all sign off because my parents didn't trust me. Taught me to be honest. Taught me that lying doesn't give good results. So
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it doesn't usually work out for people in the end, especially when you have to lie. Hide lies with lies and lies and lies and lies. It doesn't work.
Nope. Being honest has also resulted in some of my most meaning of much closer friendships, and just I feel like people tend to like who I am more when I'm more honest.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, I've told this before. I can be a bit of a dick sometimes, but at least I'm more open about it. I'm not going to pretend to sugarcoat things. I'll tell you what I think about things, whether or not he is lying. Rook's good at it. Max, do not. I swear to God, Max.
Oh my god.
Like, I know content creation is like a pageant, but it doesn't mean they need so much drama. So that's the other problem I have with collabs in general, dude. Why the hell is it that every time these people collab together, they all seem to get into so much drama? Like, you and I haven't, but like, I'm just speaking generally.
I've not seen
have you noticed
too much
this?
drama. I've thankfully every collab I've done, I even did a 60 VTuber collab in Fall Guys, and that did not result in drama. Only friendship.
Yeah, so you're fortunate in that regards. You're the second, technically, I guess Gemini technically right before you, but that was for one stream. We just played a game. It wasn't like something like this.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot more before this, and also in general, I don't know if you did something. I mean, again, the nice thing about this, doing a collab like this is there's no playing a game. There's no all you have to focus on is the other person and just have a good conversation.
Yeah, well, it's nice and easy when people bounce off each other. Again, I've always been at least decent with just talking. Like, that's something I've always been okay with.
Yeah.
So I don't mind doing stuff. I think it's fun. I think it's genuinely fun to talk to people. I just hate the fact that every single time I see these collabs happen, not every single time, I'd say like 8 out of 10 times, there always seems to be some weird fucking drama afterwards.
I've not seen it, thankfully.
I see it a lot. Thankfully, it's not usually me. Thank God. But I've seen it with other people.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things that you have to be aware of. And that's the thing that you're gonna have to be aware of, dude. You're gonna interview people, and they're gonna seem real nice to you, like off.
And then they might talk crap up and behind my back. Yeah, I can totally see that.
I mean, it's like those e-girls I mentioned, right? With that little secret chat log where they're all conspiring against their fellow creators. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of fake ass people, and it's why I just have my one Discord server, and I have a bunch of others that I'm in, but I don't I talk in them off and on, but I try not to mainly be in them. I try to mainly be in mine, so that most of what I say is public. The people can see, hey, this is how he's acting all the time. He's just a bit of a dick.
Oh yeah,
like that's all.
Again, yeah, whoever you see on stream is exactly who I am off stream.
Yeah,
it's also why I apologize. But if you come up to me and you're hyper energetic, you and me probably aren't going to vibe well. I'm just going to be honest. Yeah. I can do well with people who have high energy, but when you have too much, I have a limit. Before I just go, I can't hang out with you. You're just too much.
Yeah. I definitely think I would consider myself to be a little bit more high energy. At least my streams are.
No, I can see that, but I think that I think the first time I talked to you, you very much overwhelmed me.
Yeah, no, dude, there was so much shit the first time we talked. It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it almost was too much to talk to you again, but after we sat down and got on a call with other people, it felt a bit more manageable. So,
My Flip says is real. Too many people are fake. Too many people act kind and then flip on you. Says the yeah. I mean, listen. Be real with people. Keep trying hard. You'll get there.
yeah.
That's all it requires. Be
Yeah.
honest. Do
But
shit well.
I gotta let Flip go because he only has like 7 minutes before his stream, I think.
Yeah, I literally have to be live in about 7 minutes. So, and I'm literally getting messages about something right now as well that I need to take care of.
So,
listen.
So, okay, well, yeah. Let me hear what your final statements are, I guess.
Well, do you have anything last minute that you can think of? I guess.
Well, I was just gonna do the outro, but it sounded like you had something to say.
All right. Look, listen, I'm not. A lot of the times, the people do these interviews. They ask if there's any other advice that I can give, or people.
I mean, I can ask that.
Give.
Yeah.
I can't give you anything. The reality of the situation is, I'm just another asshole down in the mud with the rest of you. Okay, so work hard. Do what you like, and you'll get somewhere. I'm sure the next decade or so is going to treat everybody here well. I think everybody's going to have a good time. Well, we're going to make it. So just do what you got to do.
The one last thing I do tend to ask each of my guests is if you have anyone you'd recommend for an interview that you think would have a good time, feel free to DM me and let me know, send them my way, or even reach out to them and be like, hey, check out this interview I did with this streamer. I think that you'd enjoy talking to them.
You might get a kick out of Obi, to be honest. I can outright recommend him right off the bat. Obi's super chill.
Oh yeah, he seems super nice to talk to. And you know what? I think he was playing Apex, and I hate watching Apex, but I was just chatting with him.
He's super into Apex right now. He did Dead by Daylight the other day too.
I don't hate Apex. I'm just not a big fan of battle royales. I don't enjoy the genre very much.
Yeah, the only battle royale I like right now is I think Hunt Showdown, and that's not even really a battle royale. It's like a PvPvE.
But
so
yeah,
I completely agree.
I hope everyone enjoyed the interview. I hope everyone enjoyed, watching it. Enjoyed the questions I asked. I hope I did. Did you guys? Hopefully you all enjoyed. And if you did, feel free. I mean, I know I'm shocked by how many likes the stream has, so I don't think I have to tell you to leave a like because it appears that all of you already have. I very much appreciate that. I guess you've already been chatting, so you don't need to leave a comment. You don't need to do that. Yeah, and again, if you feel like tuning in to any of my other streams, would appreciate it. And anyone here who isn't watching Flip, please do. Go watch Flip, because he is an awesome guy. He's about to stream right after this. There's a link to his Twitch in the description. So yeah, W interview, W Genesis, or gotcha. Appreciate it.
Flip says, Max, all right, Max, I'll remember this.
Oh my gosh.
When you least expect, I'll betray you.
But yeah, so thank you so much, Flip, for being an awesome guest. And thank you, everyone, so much for watching. Anyone who is subscribed or liked the stream, anything, appreciate it. And yeah, maybe I'll see you next time. If so,
yeah, awesome. I'd be up for it. I'm definitely game.
Awesome. Let's do it. All right. See you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Have a good night.